Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Discordant Dragons. This is the 216th installment of this fine stream series. Tonight, I have assembled some lovely friends of mine to talk about Clown World, as is per usual. No special announcements to be made this week. Things are as normal and chugging along, and if I am feeling it and can work out how to make my pipe in my sound through OBS and get it into StreamYards, I will try to stream some video game content tomorrow if I am able to. But I'm still working on how to make all that happen in my spare time. And hopefully tomorrow I can put something like that together. So let's go ahead and get started for the evening with the featured guest, Mr. Bede of Britannia. Welcome back. It's been a while.
Hello, Yiz. Thank you so much for bringing me back. It's going to be a good stream today.
I think so as well. The energy is high, and I am white-pilled. And I know you have good reason to be as well. The other guest for this evening is Mr. Hunger Merchant, back again. Welcome back, sir.
Always a pleasure. Thank you for having me back.
Of course. And filling out the floating spot tonight is my good buddy Fat Dave from Total Blackout Painting. Welcome back, sir.
Hello. God, that intro slaps so fucking hard. I love it.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Lomax Designs did a great job on that. That was a wonderful work of art that he did for me. I am infinitely appreciative of him. And of course, my co-host 3 of 12. Welcome back again, sir.
Yes, I'm feeling pretty good too. I managed to hibernate while I was home alone.
Good. Well, we have a lot to talk about tonight, and I don't want to waste time. So we will go ahead and get things started. Let me go ahead and pop up the branding there. Very good. And as you guys know, I like to nominate a party leader each week. And this week, Mr. Bede of Britannia, riding high, is going to be our leader tonight to face the dragon's questions. So the way that works is the leader chooses the dragon topic. And now why does that matter? Because whoever chooses the topic is the first one who has to answer the dragon's question after I read the article or show the video. Or the party leader can nominate a party member to do so. So, Mr. Bede of Britannia, are you ready, sir?
I am, yes.
The topics for tonight. The red dragon has Independent Israel. The green dragon has Lo and Behold, spelled with an E there, Lo. The black dragon has Gotta Boot 'em All. The white dragon has Valentine's Day. And the blue dragon has Sins of the Father. Now, because I have implemented puns and wordplay, you likely will not know what these topics are, but except for the Lo and Behold one, obviously. So it's up to you for what we do first, Mr. Bede of Britannia. The ball is in your court.
Well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the first one. Green, lo and behold. Let's fucking do this.
All right, let's talk. Okay. The green dragon. Let's see here. Oh, no, that's not it. Oh, damn. OBS did the thing where it forgot all my browser. Give me just a minute. I'm going to have to redo it. I hate it when that happens.
God damn it, OBS.
All right, there we go. No, it's my fault. I normally need to refresh that because if I don't refresh it and leave it sit for a few hours, it forgets it. But anyway, we're good now. All right, first poll featuring Rupert Lowe's party signals, danger for reform. Could the next major threat to reform's insurgency come from the right? This weekend, Rupert Lowe, a former member of Nigel Farage's party up until an acrimonious split last March, launched his own political vehicle. And one pollster is showing that they may be a force to be reckoned with. Restore Britain are presenting a set of hard-right, zero-tolerance policies on immigration and crime. They are, in effect, further right than reform. Rupert Lowe retains the support of most constituents in Great Yarmouth, where he's an MP, but does that translate on a national scale? Fact check, yes. According to Find Out Now, their Snap survey suggests that there could already be some significant cut-through for Lowe's outfit. Respondents were asked who they'd vote for if a general election was held tomorrow, and Restore Britain was on the ballot. Around 10% said that they would back Restore. Reform Tories could see a vote share drop. What's interesting about this is the Find Out Now polls consistently put Reform up above the 30% mark, even when they've slumped elsewhere. With Low on the ticket, however, their numbers dropped down to 25%, putting them just 5% ahead of Green Party. So here we can see, for those of you that didn't see the Sargon video about this, he covered this as well. This 10% here, this is something that that is noteworthy, excuse me, because if you can have 10% of a total voting block with no campaign just a day or two after you announce, this number could easily triple in just a month or two of campaigning. And that would put it well above all of the other competitors to take the lead. So this is a very, very strong out of the gate polling number. Of course, if it's correct, and the sample size was only 1,000. So, there is that to consider. But I thought this was very uplifting. Now, for those of you who know a lot about Rupert Lowe and what he has said recently, this is amazing, and I'm sure we will get into it. But let's go ahead and move to the Green Dragon and then hear what Mr. Bede of Britannia has to say. The Green with us tonight is the same great Earth Mother who has visited us previously, and she's glad that our fight against ethnic erasure and tyranny seems to be gaining steam. She hopes things will go well for us in our struggle. She chose this story tonight because Mr. Lowe seems to be a genuine patriot and says all the right things, so she asks us this. Bede of Britannia, this comes to you first. What do you think of Lowe, and do you think he will emerge as a leader, as a great leader for the rightful Britons? Do you think the spiteful regime will attempt to kill him?
Okay, so addressing the first part of the question, I think he is the best chance we have of fixing the country and putting to right the horrific state that it's in. Just sort of, I think he's the last chance to do so in a democratic manner as well, because if he fails, then I think things will get quite dark. And yes, in terms of being a great leader, I think he's got the character. He's very stoic. He's very unflappable. He's kind of got this sort of grim duty and determination that came out in that launch video. He's not like Farage and Reform, who are treating it all as like, let's have like a party and just clown around. It's like, and he's even said, this is going to hurt. This is going to be painful to do what we need to do. And he's kind of, Morgoth made a great comparison. It feels like Rupert Lowe's pitch for Restore Britain was a bit like Ernest Shackleton's pitch for taking men to the Antarctic. Or it'll be a great adventure, but it'll be a lot of hard grit and determination is going to be required, and we may not succeed. And another thing Morgoth said is I'd rather stand with Lowe and lose than give in to Farage's Tory to win O party.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
Yep. So in terms of will the spite regime attempt to kill him, that I'm not sure about. What I will say is at the moment they seem to be largely ignoring Restore Britain, because I don't think they want to create a Streisand effect where if they ignore it, they won't risk exposing attention to it and making it balloon out of control. Yeah. Honestly, I don't. The second part is much harder to answer. I think maybe if he became like a genuine, credible threat, then maybe. But one thing that's good about Restore Britain and Rupert Lowe is that it's not just a one-man band like Reform and Nigel Farage. He's got a cadre of sort of young men around him who are clearly just as dedicated, as intelligent as him. You've got people like Charlie Downs, who's basically Restore Britain's sort of deputy leader at this point, because he's been like a point man going on all these interviews, talking to the media. You've got Harrison Pitt, who is someone Jay Burden only interviewed just before Christmas. He's been doing a lot of research for Restore Britain. You've got Lewis Brackpool as well. So, it's like an actual proper like vanguard or movement. And so, even if you do say take out Rupert Lowe, that's not going to, as the proverbial expression goes, cut the head off the snake. It will, one of these younger men will just take over.
Anything else?
No, I'll go to someone else now.
All right, who else wants to take this one?
I'm really confident in him. I think he's going to be a great leader, and it really because it really struck me something that he's made a priority of his campaign, and it wasn't just that the way that Sargon described that everything that he says is clearly coming from a British perspective. It's that he said, until we stop trying to get the approval of the elites in the regime, of those people, quote unquote, then we will never be free, and we'll never be able to. They'll never be able to have a single-headedness about how things are run. Hearing that from him, that he realizes that, because he's referring directly to Nigel Farage being insecure about getting their approval. He's more concerned about going to the pub and having fun and having everybody like him, and than actually having a set of policies in a party
and making him and his rich friends richer.
Exactly. He's treating the party like a party, not a political platform. He's thinking it just a tad bit too literal. And he also seems to have a contempt for the working man. He's not impressed by them. He doesn't want to hear what they think. He claims to operate in their interest, and he might just be, but he's just too distracted. He's far too distracted. He's not a statesman. He's a politician. Really, I mean, I would really rather just give the priority on this question to other people, but that's what I see. So I'm sure other people know more than me.
Another point I just want to bring up is in terms of the optics. Rupert Lowe is so straight talking. I mean, another thing he did is he had a launch event where he gave a speech, and one of the things he said in the speech is because one of the things he's been doing as an MP is he's had a rape gang inquiry where he's literally just shining the light on all the horrific things that a lot of the victims of these grooming gangs have had to endure. And and something he said, which I thought was so base, is where he said, I'd rather be called a racist than enable rape. And it's just, wow, there's literally no one else who would say that. And it's so necessary. And yeah,
he says he's going to do things, and he does them. And he's doing them even as a backbencher. That's pretty impressive. And then storms out of the gate with 10% of the polling. I mean, I can only imagine it's going to continue to rise as the days go by. And they're saying that various different chapters are just basically, their membership is collapsing. People are just disappearing. They're going to his party, and they're getting banned if they mention anything about him.
Yes, that's correct from what I've heard. Basically, people in Reform and various branches are speaking positively of Lowe and Restore Britain, and the Reform Stasi are purging and kicking them out, and so that's probably just going to lead to a boost to Restore Britain. And
imagine my shock.
Yeah, they're just speeding up the process for us.
Yeah.
And it's funny because there's been talks recently about the whole Starmer, Mandelson scandal, and about Starmer being in a bunker. I mean, if anyone's in a bunker right now, it's bloody Nigel Farage, regressing the day he tried to destroy Rupert Lowe.
My ideology will surely rise from the ashes. Starmer and Farage in their various bunkers.
Rupert Lowe needs to
on this.
He just needs the crown. Just give him the crown. Let him go to town.
The situation what Steve Law said, he's done the Napoleon. He's like, I picked up the crown in the gutter, and the people placed it upon my head. A man who fixes it, a man who saves his country violates no law.
Amen.
Damn right.
Amen.
So
go ahead, Hunter.
I'll jump in on this. Two things. I'm very happy. 3, you said something about Nigel Farage, which is very true, and that he very much wants to be liked by other people. Trump is a very similar character. I mean, Trump and Nigel are pretty much kind of two peas in a pod, although I think their trajectories have diverged very much in recent history. But they want to be loved by other people. Rupert Lowe doesn't have that trait. He was a football manager. What Brits call football, what Americans call soccer. He was independent. He was an independently wealthy football manager. He does not need to be loved by other people. That is a very hard, stressful job. And again, like I said, he was very independently wealthy before he entered politics, similar to Trump and Nigel, actually. But he just doesn't have that character of, people pleasing that they do, which is a very positive sign.
Yeah, and Nigel could still be useful in some role. I just think PM is not that role.
No, I think Farage is a complete net loss, and I think the sooner Reform collapse, the better at this point.
I think Nigel will be most useful dead in a ditch.
Oh,
I'm with Bede on that one.
Oh, we
I
say
think-
it's
I
because
think-
we know you can't. Because if you were to say it, you get arrested.
No. It's not a crime, and it's not against TOS to say I think it would be good if someone was no more. I am not
In
encouraging
Minecraft.
violence. I'm just saying I think we would all be better off if he happened to die drinking one night. I think he would not be missed, and I think his constant containment and lies, if they were just gone all of a sudden, I think we would all be better for it.
Yeah, I mean, for the first time in probably a century, Britain has an actual right-wing party.
Yes.
yeah, exactly. Because the people are saying, "Oh no, Restore, you're going to split the right wing vote." Hello, Restore is the right wing vote. Hello, it's like Reform
There's no other option.
2.0.
It,
And one other
from
thing-
what I can tell, if it is legitimate and the party is exactly what Rupert Lowe presented in that video of his I watched, then that means he represents the only right-wing party in Britain.
Mm. And it's probably at this point worth me addressing some of the general feedback, because one thing I was very happy to see is obviously I know relations online between the Brits and Americans since the start of the year have been rather rocky, considering the actions and the words that Trump has used regarding things like Greenland or British servicemen in Afghanistan. But one thing that really white-pilled me as well is seeing all of the American response to Restore from people like Red Hawk and the OGC. It was all very, very positive, and I didn't see a single one like counter signaling it. And it's funny, all of the criticism I saw was from like Reform simps, people going, "Oh, you're gonna split the vote, so you're being vain." And it's like, no, we actually want to get things seriously done. And another point and criticism I've seen is, it's going to be contained, it's going to get turned into like a Zionist party, and I'm like, no. I mean, that could happen, but I don't think it will, because though Lowe has said stuff you could construe as maybe being pro-Israel previously, he doesn't constantly harp on about it.
And he also said that kosher slaughter needed to be banned along with halal slaughter.
Exactly, and that's a good sign as well.
Yeah.
No, I'm white-pilled on Lowe as well on that particular issue. And I don't think Rupert Lowe is beholden to Zionists the same way the American political system is. Or maybe Donald Trump is.
The American political system is the Zionist establishment. Be fair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I think Rupert is a very good sign that he is not beholden to those interests. And again, coming from a very independently wealthy background.
Oh, that's another thing, because Rupert Lowe, because he's got his own wealth, he donates his entire parliamentary salary each month to a local charity.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Also,
again, it's not.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. So so it's something local. So it's not like some horrible like NGO funded charity that's going to go to nothing that will benefit people. It's something local.
It's something local in his district, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the last thing I wanted to say was that I actually got deja vu vibes of Kennedy working with Trump, because I saw the Homelander party standing down in any elections where they would both be running. I'm like, that's a good sign.
No, it wasn't Homeland. Homeland went bust months ago.
What party was it?
Advance UK, which is led by the former Reform deputy leader Ben Habib. So it's looking like that they might merge into Restore Britain. If they do, that will put Restore Britain's membership to like 100,000.
Yeah, I'm getting deja vu. Of good times. This is going to be an interesting. My personal theory is that Starmer is eventually going to press the button and he's going to trigger snap elections. I think he's eventually going to have a mental breakdown, and it's going to happen. So the next year, this next year is going to be crazy.
Now, I would like to pause the conversation here. There is a regular naysayer in chat whose opinions I often respect, who goes by the name Ashley Stiles. And Ashley says a couple of things here. And Propa Pictures, good to see you, Propa. Glad you're here as well with Ashley. Ashley and Propa Pictures have some negative things to say about Lowe that I would like Mr. Bede of Britannia to opine on if he can. Number one is from Propa. Lowe was a banker for Deutsche and Behrings, another posh boy sent to lead the poor to oblivion. He went to a school called Dragon School, then a boarding school, and we know what happens there. What do you have to say to this, Bede?
Well, no, I think that is the traditional British ruling class. They all went to boarding schools, and you were toughened up. You used to have like baths in ice, and you have a practice called fagging, where like you would get beaten up. They were proper rough places because they were meant to breed the ruling elite. So no, I think that's good, fundamentally, and I think there's nothing wrong in being posh. I mean, if anything, I would argue modern Britain there's been a relentless crusade against that sort of thing, especially because it was being lampooned in Monty Python sketches.
Mm-hmm. Now let's move to what Ashley has to say. Ashley earlier in chat did bring up something that I can't scroll up enough to get to, but Ashley did warn that people who come out and say the right things are very often used to mislead us and redirect, and we've already covered that part. But Ashley also says this. Well, Rothschild is higher up than the king. Parliament swears an oath to the king, and Lowe wants to be PM. There you go. None will represent us. They aren't allowed to. Now, I see what you're saying here, Ashley. And like I said to you earlier in chat, we have been lied to and manipulated constantly. We've been given false flags. We've been given Nigel Farage's and Donald Trump's and all this other shit, not to mention Tommy Robinson's and people like that. We need to remain skeptical and not let the wool be pulled over our eyes. But Lowe does seem to be a different creature from Nigel and Tommy and Trump and these other people, despite him being posh and from an upper-class background. So, Bede, what do you have to say to this?
What I'll say is, I mean, the king's power is largely a fiction. He's the ceremonial head of state, but most of the power is vested in the office of prime minister. And and it's funny because we talk about wanting to overthrow neoliberalism and the Blairite revolution, but ironically, I'd say the final political weakening of Britain's monarchy is largely as a result of Blair, because he and Brown end up have essentially invested it. So the prime minister is effectively gets to exercise the royal power in the king's name via the monarch's royal prerogative. So if anything, if he was to come in as prime minister, he would be sovereign as long as he had a majority in parliament. And there's actually an interesting point that Black Horse made on his Red Ensign podcast earlier about Lowe sort of signalling, if we get in, things are going to be hard and tough and you may suffer. That's a very good thing, because there's been concerns over, if he got in, would he get get the Liz Truss treatment and get cooed by the Bank of England? Well, the thing is, if his financial reforms are going to lead to hardship, the thing is, if he's gone out in an election and stipulated that to the public and people still vote him in, he can just stay at the Bank of England and say, no, our supporters, our majority are backed by this, and to do your worst.
Anyone else have anything to say on this topic?
Could I briefly address that comment as well?
Please.
I get very tired of this kind of criticism. Not just because it's not even to say that it's incorrect. It's not even to say that it doesn't have a solution. Well, it doesn't have a solution. It's to say, I knew when I voted for Donald Trump in 2024 that he was a Zionist.
Mm-hmm.
I had no illusions that Donald Trump was very much a super Zionist or uber Zionist. I voted for Donald Trump regardless. I did not have the wool pulled over my eyes. A giga Zionist.
Yeah.
to bring up another character. Yeah, no one can say I'm sympathetic to Zionism. Nobody who knows me can say I have any sympathy towards Zionism.
especially being from Lebanon.
Yeah, my life is better because Donald Trump is president and not Kamala Harris. My life is noticeably better. It would be noticeably worse if Kamala Harris was president. It matters who is the president. It matters who is the prime minister of your country, even if they do things you don't like. Mm-hmm. How many Pakistani rape gangs will be deported when Rupert Lowe becomes prime minister? I'm saying it's going to happen. I want it to happen. It will happen, God willing. How many rape gangs will be deported? How many white girls is that going to help?
Mm-hmm.
So don't give me that bullshit. I mean, come on. It really does matter. This is not a fucking game. You can't be a purist.
No, it's as Red Hawk
And I
says.
don't think what Ashley was saying is about being a purist. Ashley is just a very skeptical person like I am. And it's always important to be skeptical. And, I have been skeptical about Lowe. I looked into everything I could find about him for about an hour today. He seems to be very legit. I don't think that he has internationalist backing, despite him, rubbing shoulders with some scrupulous characters. Well, he's upper class. He couldn't help but do that with his upbringing and the life he's led. So I didn't find any dirty connections that make him look suspect to me when I went digging today.
Yeah, not to mention that that rubbing shoulders with those sort of people sometimes is what it takes to radicalize people enough to do the right things when they have power. I mean, Tulsi Gabbard's reaction to going to Davos was these people are disgusting, suicide cult, baby-eating monsters, and they're anti-white. So I'm like, yeah, I'd say we'd actually be better off forcing our politicians to be exposed to it and seeing how they react. Because if this is how he's reacting, that's a good sign. Not to mention that we've had Damascus conversions from time to time, or people hiding their power level, like Marco Rubio. I say that because, some people do get into politics for the sake of serving their country, the sake of helping certain people. And often they have to start as a freshman representative that doesn't have any power to do so. And they kind of have to bide their time until they have more power to do so. I don't know, man. I'm not getting vibes of containment. And even if it was containment, and I'm not saying it's not, it always could be. That is always a good sign that we are a real threat.
It doesn't seem like containment after looking into it. It doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
And even if it is, let's say Rupert Lowe, like when Rupert Lowe gets elected prime minister, I'm gonna manifest that into existence. When Rupert Lowe is elected PM, let's say he stops the UK from driving off the cliff for another 5 years or 10 years. Like, who doesn't want that? Do you want? Yeah. Do you want total bedlam now, or do you want 5 years of time?
Well, and he's a step in the right direction anyway. It's more of the and I guess to address the Dragons' question about whether they'll take him out or not. Like I think the scales are falling from too many people's eyes for them to just outright take him out in a Putin style way. I think they may try to take him down, but he's getting too many people behind him. He's starting to get too many people behind him for them to just outright, for them to pull.
So you think they worry about making a martyr out of him? That's what will stay their hand.
Yeah. I think so. I think they'll probably work to try to corrupt him. And like Hunger Merchant said, 5 years. 5 years will give them enough time to get somebody, if not, somebody new, somebody better, hopefully. So, but Farage is pure containment. That's all he is.
Absolutely. He's a dirty rat.
He is. He's a politician. He's not a leader. Kind of like Trump. I mean, I voted for Trump too, but I realize that he's a politician. He's not as much of a leader as he claims to be. He's in there wheeling and dealing and doing all his shit, just mostly to keep his Zionist masters happy in a lot of ways. But he's better than the alternative. He was much better than the alternative.
Yeah, and I wish Trump was more like Rupert Lowe, and that's a big thing to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just to add something, because we talked about Trump and Farage, and one thing I've noticed is that both Trump and Farage, their entry into politics wasn't really motivated, I think, by a desire to save their countries. They seem to be motivated more by like a personal sense of vengeance. Because with like Trump, for example, there's that famous clip of him being at the White House with Obama, and Obama's like constantly making fun of him, and it just seemed to be that Trump purely ran just to spite Obama. And same with Farage. The whole reason he's done all these campaigns of UKIP and Reform, except Brexit Party, is all because the Tory party sort of snubbed him in the early 90s because he didn't agree with staying in the EEC that then became the EU. So again, it's like a petty desire for revenge rather than any kind of real goal to try and do anything serious politically.
Yeah, 100%. It's absolute ego. It's absolutely ego driven for both of them.
Yeah, and it's important.
Let me address this real quick for Loafer Sheffield. I don't delete things unless it's obvious spam. Like a couple years ago when there was that horrible spate of porn cam bots that would always come into chat and flood comments about, oh, go look at titties and all this dumb shit. Like, I don't delete comments of people arguing, even comments I disagree with. I used to delete the streams entirely for the sake of the channel. But now that it seems like that period is over, the streams and the chat and the comments on them will stay up unless I start getting strikes again. Just I wanted to address that.
It's also not good for your algorithm if you delete videos from your channel. The algorithm it gives you less views. It deboosts you, yeah.
But anyway.
So another point I wanted to say is about Lowe is consider the fact that Reform tried to get him sent to jail on trumped up charges of bullshit about him assaulting a man less than half his age, all because Lowe wanted to do serious things. Oh, I want to do a rape gang inquiry. Oh, I want to do this and I want to do that, and that's what Reform did to him. He was far too serious for them, and that's why they tried to get rid of him.
Yeah. So before we move on, I would like to remind you guys, I don't like to work for free, neither do you. If you could share some of your hard-earned dollars with me for the stream, I would definitely appreciate that. I prefer to have paid chats over on Entropy. That is the pinned comment in the chat. It's also the top link of how you can financially support the channel. If you don't want to use Entropy for whatever reason, or it doesn't work for you because it doesn't for everyone, you can send in short messages on PayPal and Cash App. I also have started a Buy Me a Coffee. I forgot to put that link in my links. I'll have to amend that to my file. But I also have a Buy Me a Coffee now as well. Someone last week asked me to set that up and gave me $10, and I appreciate that. So anyway, I'm sorry, gave me 10 pounds, British pounds, forgive me. And you can also send in rants on Rumble and hyper chats on Odyssey, and I will read or share whatever it is that you send, assuming it won't put the channel in jeopardy, of course. And I will address whatever you have to say with the panel. So let me go check right now and see if we have any paid chats that have come in anywhere. Okay.
While you're doing that, I just one final thing to say on Rupert Lowe.
Oh, sure.
But,
go ahead.
Yeah. Aim high, vote low. Repeat.
Amen.
Repeat.
Aim high, vote low. That's right. All right, let's go ahead then and move back to the dragon topics for the evening. That was the green dragon we started with. Oops, that's the wrong one. But that was the green dragon we started with lo and behold. That leaves 4 topics. Gotta boot 'em all, independent Israel, sins of the father, and Valentine's Day. Mr. Bede, you are the party leader. What will be next, sir?
Well, Hunger, go for it.
Habibi, you are too generous.
Habibi.
It's Monday. I think I'm feeling spicy today. I'll do independent Israel.
Okay, and that will be the red dragon. All right. I'm giving a trigger warning for Satan Yahoo because Satan Yahoo is about to be on the screen. I know everybody hates him. All right.
Much needed trigger warning.
Yes. Satan Yahoo says that Israel's goal is to build an independent arms industry and phase out U.S. economic aid. God, I wish. Speaking in Jerusalem, Satan Yahoo told the U.S. Jewish establishment leaders that Israel aims to move with the United States, I hate how this is phrased. It doesn't make sense. That he aims to move away from the United States, moving from aid to partnership. He also addressed the upcoming talks with Iran and Hamas disarmament ahead of the Board of Peace launch summit on Thursday. Prime Minister Netanyahu said that Israel's goal is to build an independent arms industry and phase out U.S. economic aid. He said at the Conference of Presidents in Jerusalem, which highlights U.S.-Israel relations and key leadership and strategic discussions. Ahead of a second round of talks between the U.S. and Iran this week, Netanyahu told the conference he is skeptical of a deal which must include the condition of all enriched material leaving Iran. Speaking on U.S. assistance to Israel, Netanyahu said that he aims to end all U.S. military aid within the next 10 years after the current 10-year deal of receiving $3.8 billion a year, which is largely spent in the United States on military equipment. It will end in 2028.
Oh,
Now,
that's all.
Yeah, that's all I care to read about this article. There's nothing else that we need to see in that. This is the Red Dragon. The Red with us tonight is a military tactician and part of the Great Dragon Council's war room of state and military advisors. He enjoys learning about the humans of Earth, especially because we have a long history of advanced warfare. He chose this story tonight to ask us this, and Hunger Merchant, it comes to you first. Is Israel capable of doing what Netanyahu says? And would such a thing be good for the Western world or for Israel in the Middle East?
To answer the first question, is Israel capable of doing this? No. They cannot. So I should probably clarify. Israel already has a military-industrial complex. Israel does make many armaments, make many of its own weapons, but it cannot make everything because it is a tiny country that is smaller than the size of New Jersey. It is like half the size of New Jersey. It doesn't have the space or the geography to make everything that it really needs as like a million-man army. Like, the population of Israel is not that big, and the military takes up a huge percentage of the population because of conscripts and mandatory military service. Like,
and I've seen videos of facilities that make war machines. They're massive. They take up a lot of space and require a lot of infrastructural support.
Yeah, like you can't even what's it called? I mean, even if you include the West Bank and Gaza, which is not that big, like territorially, it's not that big. Like, even if you include those territories as well, like, you can't have like a aerospace industry with that small of a country. You just don't have the amount of airspace. I mean, like, it's literally that simple in some cases. But Israel does make its own armaments. A lot of it. You know, why do they need $4 billion a year from us? Well, certain interests like keeping that happen, and they like saving money if they can farm out taxing other lesser groups that I'm not going to say the name of. It's a disgusting name.
Sure. But
is this good for the West? I mean, saving $4 billion a year. Okay. I just don't think it's going to happen. I just like that. I'm just very skeptical that we're going to be cutting off Israel from American support. Even if we save a few $1 billion, that's just not
unless people like us take office and get in control. Yeah.
All right. If I had to guess, all the Israeli weapons testing is going to happen in the U.S. anyway. You know, as it already kind of does.
Yeah.
But that's my take on it.
Okay. Hypothetical then. If Israel, this is hypothetical for you, Hunger Merchant. If Israel somehow was able to start manufacturing and supporting its own military equipment and war effort outside of the United States, maybe even in its own soil, on its own soil, or in areas it controls, do you think that would be better or worse for stability in the Middle East?
If I had to be realist about it, it would probably be a lot worse for the world, and particularly the Middle East, because I think the fact that Israel is so small and dependent on the United States, and the reason Israel has to spend so much money lobbying the U.S. is because of how dependent it is on the U.S. for, you know, its resources, its technology, all its finances, all these things. That's why Israel has to lobby so hard, because it is like incredibly dependent. If America cut off military aid, you know, tomorrow, and Israel didn't have any other suppliers in place, like, I don't think they would survive long as a nation. Maybe they would last like a decade, but I don't think they would survive long on their own resources. They don't have any resources. They siphon off America's resources to keep themselves alive. Like certain other biological,
almost like it's a country of vampires.
You could say that, or parasites.
Yeah, or parasites even. Yeah,
parasites. Yeah.
So if Israel was self-sustaining and independent, that would be very bad. I think the flip side of the U.S. dependency is that we actually do have some leverage, and we've stopped Israel from bombing Iran multiple times.
Yeah.
The Israelis have been wanting to bomb Iran for 20 years, and no matter how Zionist controlled the entire U.S. government is, we have not let them do it. So like that is at least a somewhat positive side of this dependency.
I hate to sound like a dirty realist here, but I do think that it would be good for the world if America did cut off Israel and it had to fend for itself, because then nature would run its course and the problem would be over eventually.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's how I feel about it.
That is fair, but I think if Israel actually was confident in its own ability to sustain itself, it would literally just cause World War III.
Now this is funny. You mean pedo sites?
So true, King. But yeah, I think if Israel was, go ahead.
Just to add to what you were saying about America having some leverage. Well, a lot of people forget that a certain event that a lot of British people are resentful at America for is obviously the Suez Crisis, where America stopped France and Britain from trying to retake over the Suez Canal after the Egyptians nationalized it. Well, a lot of people forget that Israel was also involved in that operation. So it's literally one of the few times that America's told Israel no, you're not going to invade this country for your own interests. So, and you have to remember back then, I guess you could say the Israel lobby probably had less influence than it did today. So that's part of it.
It did. It was. I mean, this was like 1956. It was the Israel lobby was not the same as it was today. But yeah, I think if Israel was just independent, it would start World War III, and maybe the end result of that would be positive.
Yeah,
we'd have to know that. We'd have to know the outcome first. But I'm
not saying I celebrate the death that would bring, but I do think that the outcome would probably be positive.
I mean, when they perceived the weakness of the Biden administration, they started wars with all their neighbors. If they became truly independent, there's no way to know how far they'd go, especially considering the obsession from the Talmudic types about Greater Israel. Epstein drawing it on a chalkboard and teaching it to kids.
I mean, I call him Satan Yahoo for a good reason, 3. Like, I 100% believe that him and all the crazies there, that they absolutely would do horrible things. But without the American shield, with them being more militarily independent, and if people like us start to have more power and influence in the United States, I think that nature would run its course and the problem would be handled. And I mean, I don't want to elaborate beyond that. I think everyone takes my meaning when I say that.
I mean, yeah, but I just really want to drive the idea home that it seems like because of that and their desire to go independent, it seems like the United States' role with them actually is more to is usually more tempted to tard wrestle them than anything, because it seems like they're always going too far, and they're always looking for permission from the United States to cause more chaos. Like the current situation with Iran, another perfect example. Netanyahu is waiting for approval from the United States to get in on the fighting.
I hope it's my hope that eventually this disgusting entanglement that everyone in the West, especially the Anglosphere in America, has with Israel will end. Like, I don't wish anyone of Jewish blood ill will. I don't want Jews hunted down and beaten in the street or anything ugly like that. I just want the Zionist rot taken out of our countries. Like, I'm so sick of my tax money, my politics, the spokespeople in my government. They seem to only care about Israel and what is good for Israel. And that needs to end. I don't want France and Germany and Britain and Canada and the United States having leaders that put Israel first. That has to stop. That sickness has to be excised like the cancer it is.
You're saying you don't want every congressional hearing to have to start off with a question of what are you going to do for Israel?
Don't you know the Dow's over 50K?
Jesus Christ. But now I think so. Israel has a pretty big tech sector already. Like they have a high tech, and they're an industrial country. Of course, they're small. They don't have big, but how big how big does a factory need to be to pump out 1 million of those fucking Japanese robots and put a gun on them? Right. I think Israel will usher in the Terminator future if we let them
try. I don't know if it would succeed.
I mean, China uses their shoreline for manufacturing and nothing, and it's nowhere else in the country pretty much. So you don't actually need that much space.
No. So
Just to add,
go ahead.
sorry, just to add another point. I wonder if this article is essentially trying to put a positive spin on something that's quite dire for Israel, which is that they realise that the formerly good reputation they had is dying, and as the boomers die off, they're going to be hated, and eventually you'll get the dominance of the American politics by people who just will not keep giving into their bullshit anymore. And what this article is Satan Yahoo realizing, oh shit, we're probably going to have to adjust to a future where we're not going to be able to rely on America as much as we used to. So we're going to have to, rely on more on our own resources. But rather than saying it that way, they're putting it on like, we can be independent and reliant. We don't really need it. We're going to move to a more equal partnership.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
I agree with that. I think the boomer generation dying off is left because the Zoomers coming up aren't, they're not on Israel's fucking side on this shit.
Not at all.
There's more people who are noticing what's actually happening, and when these the current crop of boomer fucking politicians die off, they'll have lost all their compromat first off, so they'll lose a lot of leverage in our government, and they're not going to get that leverage back through the younger generations. They're just not going to get it, and I think that they do see the writing on the wall that that's the future, and they are going to have to start standing on their own because they're not going to get that shit from my kids, know.
And I think another thing to mention with all of this, when it comes to let's say the loss of support in the general public eye, the social media coverage and never-ending video clips of that constantly go around Facebook and all the normie social media, like just showing all of the horrific shit that Israel does day after day after day. Like, think about the dozens of millions of young white kids that grew up seeing the terrors of Israel every day on social media. Like, you can't fix that. There's no salve for that.
Right.
On both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
I should also say, I think last thing I'll probably say on this, I'm going to edit my answer slightly. If Israel were to become independent and, go balls to the wall, with its, new military factories, that would be good for the West. That would not be good for the Middle East.
Yeah.
Because it would behoove the West to have these two groups fighting each other. But we'll see who wins we'll see who wins after that. But that would be good for the West. That would not be good for the Middle East. I think that is the realist situation.
Well, just to add to that, what I was alluding to with trying to put a positive spin on it, the fact is I think the Israelis realise that they can't, with the loss of American support and particularly, arms and other weaponry, they'll realise, right, we can't be as adventurous in our military and foreign policy, meaning they'll have to move to a more pure defensive strategy, which requires less resources.
I disagree. I think they're so paranoid.
Yeah.
And that they've committed so many sins, and that they are paranoid of, the justice that will be inflicted upon them, whether in this life or the next, that I think they think the time is now to go all out. And I think they're paranoid enough to think that.
Yeah. And I also think that they are religiously psycho enough to do that. Because don't forget, the Talmudic lunatics, the ones that think they want to inherit the earth by, ending Edom and causing all the bullshit and the red calf and the global warfare and all that, that faction is the strongest leadership in Israel. They're the ones calling the shots, despite the groups that don't like that and want a more saner group to lead them. That's the power faction in Israel. So I completely believe that, Hunger. I think you're right.
And they have to do that in counter to their own left-wing movement, which is like the other kind of Jewish subversion, where they're the most like globalist leftists, limp-wristed shit on earth, where they were still pushing mandatory vaccines on themselves in 2023. The ones that make you sterile.
Oh yeah,
so,
the Tikkun Olam crazy homos. Yeah, that's the other version. Yeah.
Either they have to make the neocon warmongers happy in their own country, or they basically get suicided. Crazy situation.
I'd like
Politically.
to address what Kingdom of Inland says. Do you think the Israelis could get Western support by being less anti-white? No.
No,
Never going to happen.
That's never going to happen, first of all. Second of all, even if they tried it, I don't think anyone would believe them. And they have already burnt every single bridge that every Westerner has ever tried to build between us. Like, if the Holly was as real as they say, and all of that Hollywood fiction was true about all of the abuse and 6 million and genocide and all that, and we saved them from it, look how they fucking treat the very people who saved them from that.
Yeah.
There is no fixing that. There's no going back. Like, as a group, I'm not saying individuals, as a group, no, they will never have our support, ever. It's us or them.
It would require a complete replacement of their elites to like sort of secular American Jews that just were shoved on the country essentially.
Right. I mean,
by some
generations
sort of
down the
hegemon.
road, if all of the anti-white commies and all of the Psycho-Zionists and all the Talmudic extremist nut jobs are all gone, and the only Jewish people left are like, your simple little, Harry Mornstein that works at your
George
accountant firm.
Costanza.
And your George Costanzas and shit. Like, if the only Jewish identity left is that, then yeah, maybe we could have peace and it could be fine. Like, because when it comes to Jews like that, I don't mind them, and I don't think that they're a subversive problem. But as a group, the things that give your group identity are the movers and shakers and what the power structures do. Those are all anti-white and all bad and have never shown the slightest bit of remorse for anything they've done. They've never tried to unburn the bridges that good white folks and good Christians around the world have tried to lay out for them. No. So as a group, as it stands now, no, there will never be peace between us. And I don't think that their image will ever be better until all of that shit is permanently gotten rid of. And the Jews who are left are like, hey, mea culpa, that was all psycho and evil. We're not like that anymore. And they actually put people in, and the people of power with Jewish identity actually put their money where their mouth is, so to speak. Only then could there ever be peace between us. And
Yeah,
I just don't see that happening.
TLDR, it would require us to do the same kind of manipulation and rug pulling to them that they've done to us. And I just don't want to do that kind of evil.
Yeah. But anyway, let's anything else on the Israel weapon manufacturing front that you guys want to talk about, or shall we move on? Because I think we're done with that.
They make some good weapons, to be fair.
I have fired 2 Israeli Uzis, and they were both excellent machines. But that's probably because they were built in America by Americans.
They have a terrible reputation, if you know what I mean.
All right, I'm looking for paid chats to see if I've missed any. And no, it doesn't look like we have any paid chats yet. That's too bad. But that's fine. We'll move on. Okay. And Entropy decided to shit the bed. So let me restart Entropy real quick here. Great.
It's interesting we were talking about Israelis, and your accent went a bit Brooklyn there, Yes.
Oh yeah, I do that all the time for fun because I love the New York Jew accent. I think it's adorable and funny because I grew up watching comedy and hilarious Jewish comedians, and that accent is just absolutely precious and hilarious to me because it makes me think of funny comedians and funny sitcoms and stuff. I just that New York Jew accent is just hilarious. All right,
It's not as fun dealing with it on a. It's not as fun dealing with it in real life. I can tell you that.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. All right. Well, let's. Oops, I clicked the wrong thing again. There we go. So that was the first 2 topics. That was independent Israel, and lo and behold, that leaves 3 left. Bede of Britannia. What's next, sir?
Well, I'll give it to Fat Dave.
Dave, what is it?
I gotta go with Valentine's Day.
I thought you would. Warning, this will be infuriating. Just so you know. So the anti-whiteism here will make you sick. Asylum seekers to get Valentine's Day cards made by children, which will be delivered by a Green Party counselor and her grandchildren. I'm going to pause here because I'm sure half my viewers just involuntarily threw up. A Green Party counselor has faced backlash after sharing that she and her grandchildren will be delivering Valentine's Day cards to asylum seekers. Ann Cross announced in a council meeting that gifts created by herself and the children will be taken to Crowborough through training, the Crowborough training camp this weekend. The East Sussex County Councillor encouraged locals to participate in upcoming volunteer opportunities and to hear the stories of those in the camp. She said, "There's nothing like getting to know people and hearing their stories in order to dispel fear. My grandchildren and I painted some Valentine's Day cards on the weekend, which we are going to be presenting to the men at Crowborough as a welcome." She went on to urge all representatives of the local community to stand with, quote, "all those who share love." Blech. Her remarks have sparked fury with Sussex Weald and Conservative MP, impronounceable foreign gibberish, who is
Star Wars
lambasted.
name.
Do what?
Star Wars name.
A Star Wars name. Yeah, Star Wars name. Thank you. Who has lambasted the idea as disturbing. Claiming there was widespread concern locally, she remarked that getting children to create Valentine's Day cards for single adult men was highly irresponsible and suggested no regard for safeguarding the children. If they have time for that, then why don't they, meaning the council, have the time and the decency to meet local people, she told The Sun. Yeah, like, you know, it makes me sick that with all of the molestation, child rape, adult rape, womanizing, chasing and scaring women that these foreigners do, this anti-white piece of shit in the Green Party wants children to create Valentine's Day cards for these invaders, for these invading anti-white terrorist rapist pieces of shit. This woman's head belongs on a cross. All right. So let's go ahead and see what the White Dragon has to say.
Just reminding me of Woodapez and Cult of White New Vegas. Don't worry, I won't have you lashed to a cross like the rest of these degenerates.
Yeah. The White with us tonight is mother to 5 successful worms in her clan, and she spends her time learning of human worlds and civilizations to not just expand her knowing of us, but to better assist her clan in being noble rulers over men. She's thankful for groups like ours and chose this story tonight to ask us about the social mental sickness of anti-whiteism. Dave, the question comes to you first. Do you think white people have started developing immunity to this mental pathogen? Do you think the anti-white propaganda has ultimately backfired?
I think more and more people are seeing through the bullshit. I said there's more noticing going on among, older people and the kids especially. I think that, I think ultimately what this will end up with is, or the real way to fix it, in the short term and probably the long term, is to strip all political power from any woman, right? Because that's who it comes through more often than not. It's the fucking women that are doing a lot of this stuff.
Amen.
They buy the fucking propaganda. They swallow it harder than anyone else. And I don't necessarily think that this woman thinks that she's being, I don't think she's doing it because she hates white people. I think she's doing it because she's fucking retarded. And she thinks that she's doing something good. Because
her brain has been completely destroyed by the anti-white mental pathogen, by the mind sickness. Yeah. And I'm sorry, Ardent Party, you were right. I was heated and misspoke. Heads go on pikes, degenerates go on the cross. I know. Yeah. I was just heated and misspoke.
Yeah, good point, Ardent. I don't think that I think more and more people are seeing through the bullshit. Normies are waking up to the fact that it's not just about diversity. It's actually about actively fucking hating white people. And the diversification is just a side effect of the anti-white bullshit. Even my folks are starting to see it more. My boomer parents are starting to see more of they're starting to notice more of the anti-white shit.
Yeah. So are mine.
And my mom's been conservative my whole fucking life. She's been Republican my whole life, but she's that boomer con Republican where she thinks we can all kumbaya and hold hands together. It's like, no, those people actively want to fucking kill you. Like they
Yeah.
actively want you dead. There's not really a kumbaya.
And if you just
with
pay
those
attention,
people.
they openly say that.
Right. They're not. Yeah, they're not hiding.
It's not like they
There's
hide.
no it's been mask off the whole fucking time. You know, it's been kill Whitey for
50
decades
years,
now.
60 years, yeah.
Yeah. And but you know, the kids are waking up and they're not gonna stand for this shit. And I think the propaganda will ultimately backfire. Yeah.
Yeah, well said, Loafer. Yeah, it's suicidal empathy.
Yeah,
Aiden did a video
suicidal.
about that. Yeah.
Yep. Great video, by the way.
Yeah, it was really good.
So, but that's what I got to say. I'll hand it off to someone else for now.
Okay, sure. Who wants to take it next?
I'll go next. Yeah, so with the Green Party, obviously their main focus is like environmental politics, but something I've noticed as the Labour are imploding and the Greens are going to replace them as the main party of the left. One thing I've noticed is that they're doing a lot of stuff to pander to the third world biomass, and so stuff like this is what they're doing, because when Zach Polanski became leader, they also elected a Muslim as one of their deputy leaders.
Ugh.
And so it's like it's funny, they're called the Green Party, but this time the green has an entirely different meaning than what it originally was meant to be. Yeah. So I just think in this case, I just think they're pandering to their potential electoral constituents.
Probably.
But yeah, obviously, see, stuff like this is just so obviously stupid and reckless that, yeah, I think hopefully it can only backfire and restore Britain, who will put an end to such horrific practices.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of idiotic fucking woman hands her kids to migrants like that? Because that's basically what she's trying to do.
Grandkids, but yeah,
her grandkids. Yeah.
No, it's messed up, man. This is why Jason Kuhn is right about all this anti-white stuff. It's like a disease. It's like a communicable mental illness that rots the brain, because no sane woman with a normal, realistic view of the world and its peoples and what's going on would encourage children to send love letters to big gangs of invading Pakistanis and Africans. Like that, just
third world fucking rapists.
Yeah, like it's just like, and obviously hashtag not all, but like hashtag plenty also.
Enough.
So it's like like it's just mental. Like it's a mental disease that we have to end.
Hashtag per capita.
Yeah, I think what people are going to realize is that it hasn't really changed much from that point. And these women have always existed to some degree, because they just, on both sides of the gender aisle, we have our retards. If you're dumb enough to engage in suicidal empathy, you shouldn't have any power over anything. You probably shouldn't even have your own children.
Yeah.
I mean, I had the thought, while I let all this percolate, while you guys were talking, that there's a significant chance that this woman's grandchildren aren't even white.
I don't know about that.
That's fair.
I don't know. Like we're talking about England here and
the Green Party.
And the Green Party, which is notoriously just white shit lib idiots.
Like, you're not wrong in that sense, that it's because labor has had its mass exodus. The extreme true believers always move to the Greens because they're the ones who are willing to indulge all the craziest things. Being environmentalist party as it stands means there's no real facts there. It's just all ideology, even more so than it's entirely founded on that concept. So you get more of those people to start with. It just isn't shocking. It isn't shocking at all that person would be doing this, because their idea is that, oh no, we're all interchangeable units. We're all just the same. Gotta be nice to these people. Or at the very least treat them like equals. The problem is they're weird. If that was where it sort of ended, it wouldn't be as bad. But it's not the 90s anymore, where at least there aren't as many bad chemicals in your system, and they're not as surrounded by ideology on TV all the time. When this was more restrained, and it wasn't just constantly blaring at them all the time. At the very least, they were limited by the idea that at least I'm giving money to some charity that's supposedly doing some good in Africa, like was mentioned earlier. It used to be more contained. It used to actually have a cover story. It used to have a point. And it was under the idea that, well, these people aren't as well off as we are because they're not here. The problem is they came here. And now people are seeing, even those people are starting to see what they are like. But the difference is that the people who are even more, maybe Machiavellian, more dark triad or tetrad than they are pushing the idea that this is just what you pay to have a modern multiculti society. And multiculti is just non-negotiable. For some reason, it's just a god that can't be questioned. Whether a woman has suicidal empathy or not. And it's gotten to this point where you interview them and they just don't even know they don't even know what they're doing. Like the woman in Minnesota who was so emotionally overwhelmed she couldn't even articulate why she was there, what she was doing, why she was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's someone who belongs in an asylum. It's like there's not even anything to interface with it at this point. They're beyond ideology. They're beyond normal levels of mental illness where you can at least put a psychiatrist in front of them and start picking it apart. They're just gone. They need to be medicated. That's it. It's over with. There is no you live an independent life anymore. I'm shocked that she can find food in the morning.
Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, have you ever been in that kind of state where you just can't function like that?
No.
I have. I mean, I am a young, sensitive male in a time when masculinity is stomped all over and destroyed by chemicals and stuff in a longhouse home by a mother who, well, is again a boomer con, but also is kind of quietly a second wave feminist.
Yep, as many are.
So, like, yeah, I am often treated like I'm a defective woman.
Yeah, that's how society and a lot of women treat men, is like they're defective women, and that shit has to stop.
Right. Just imagine what it's like. Yeah, have you ever had brain fog? That's just their lives all the time.
No, I mean, I've done a lot of drugs. But I don't.
Yeah, but brain fog is different.
Think that's the same. I don't think
it's not the same. Brain fog, like when you get man flu and you just can't think.
I mean, I've been in that state before. Like, I've taken a lot of cold medicine, and I was just mentally checked out like derp. Like,
well, they're like that all the time. These women are basically constantly operating in a sea of I don't understand anything that's going on. I can't process any of it. I can't parse it. You try to talk to them, and they just can't even.
I think that sounds like at least half the people in public office.
It would be.
I think that our bureaucracies in all of our countries are just staffed with low IQ, mentally checked out morons that are there for an easy job, and because they had connections, and because people with power know that they can use those people for their ends. And of course, bureaucracies always call to people like that because they want others of their own ilk. And like this is a problem with massive government bureaucracies. Even without all of the purposeful power garbage, you have this like calls to like nepotistic shitbaggery that goes on. And it's why I hate the way that all governments of democracies are structured. It's fucking cancer.
The problem is not mentally ill women. Mentally ill women are a dime a dozen. They're not the source of the problem.
There's a different. I meant a different kind of mentally ill woman. You have your regular mental illness where they fall into some ideology or something. There's a certain chunk of them that can't even function. It's gotten so bad because of all the chemicals in our food and how they already could barely function. I mean, we were talking about non-functional alcoholic type level.
I don't believe this councilwoman from the Green Party is mentally dysfunctional. Like she's just a libtarded woman, which again are a dime a dozen. They're not the problem, but the solution is a Fed post.
The solution is definitely Fed posts. So let's go ahead and move on from this because we have other dragons to get to.
Yeah.
Good conversation, and we still don't have any paid chat, so we can just scoot right along. All right, let's go ahead and drop this and go back to the topics. All right, Mr. Bede, there's 2 topics left, and you can choose 3 of 12, or choose somebody else, or choose one yourself.
Go for it, 3 of 12.
Okay. I'd like to go with gotta boot them all.
All right. Gotta boot them all. Get them out. Okay. Now we go. This is a fun one. This will be short. There it is. Okay. I think it should be more widely known that if you report someone to have immigration, and they report someone to immigration and they turn out to be an illegal resident, you have a chance to get 50,000 yen. And even if you're mistaken, there's no penalty. And yes, this is real. I looked this up. This is something real going on in Japan right now. You can report to their version of customs or border patrol or whatever it is they're called over there. You can report anyone for suspicious immigrant behavior or that you just suspect that they might be illegal. And if it is correct and that person is causing problems and they're removed, you get 50,000 yen. That's the equivalent of like 350 or 400 US dollars. And I think that is awesome. That is just awesome. And so I wanted to make this a dragon topic tonight. So let's move to the black dragon. The black with us tonight enjoys comedy and sarcastic humor. She loves meme culture of Earth as well. She chose this story tonight not just to ask us something to laugh about, but also a serious question. So this comes to you first, 3. Do you think creating fun social activities that reward native populations and patriots for making outsiders feel unwelcome is a good strategy? What would you recommend for your country?
I mean, I would recommend something very similar to that. I mean, it's fun. It's hunting activity. There's all sorts of dopamine involved.
It's like Pokemon Go, but catching immigrants. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's very cathartic, which we desperately need because the main problem with people in this country right now is their cortisol levels are sky high and they're constantly in survival mode. That just doesn't, it's causing so much stress that people's hair are turning gray in their 20s, mine included. We need stress relief. We need to resolve our problems. The reason why we're stressed is because the people in control want us to be miserable and want our lives to be shit so that maybe we just kill ourselves in a ditch somewhere. The only answer is to completely invert that and to make our lives about being motivated to solve our own problems and being, paid for it too. The reward for learning professionalism at your first job is that you get to have an income that you can spend pretty much on anything within reason. You don't have to pay your costs. It's a good time. I think the children yearn for the mines.
Oh, Dave just ran the numbers. At the current value of yen, that's
325.
$325.
It's still pretty good.
Right. I thought it would be more than that, but I guess yen might have gone down a little.
There was another yen crash recently.
Oh, okay. All right.
Which
this must be per referral.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
actually, I kind of just remembered. Now that I think about it, and I just said that out loud, the children near to their minds, man. Making it easier to sell stuff and turn things into money would also be a good thing, because the current way to do that by selling via, like, say, eBay or Facebook Marketplace makes it very funky. There's a bit of danger to it. There's a lot of scamming going on. I wish there was a sort of like government sponsored exchange for selling commodities that wasn't just like, say, the futures market. I wish there was something more peer-to-peer. That would be really good too, because people would have more money in their pockets without creating inflation.
Yeah. And my general gut feeling is I don't want the government to be involved in anything. So there's always that.
Yeah.
But no, like if the government's there to do anything, it's to keep us safe and to facilitate our ability to live life and trade with each other. So
yeah, if there's one thing
in this regard, I guess I'm okay with the government being involved. But I don't trust the government.
Yeah, or maybe we just need more time to heal, because before COVID, flea markets were everywhere.
I know. I hear you, Hunger. I can't help it. I'm East Tennessean.
Libertarians BTFO'd.
We're born lower right. We can't help it.
Government deports people. Libertarians BTFO'd.
Oh,
Yeah.
also subsidies program for children getting their first gun.
That's right. The ATF
I mean,
needs to be a grocery store.
yes.
Handing out guns.
Okay, like here's the thing. I'm from East Tennessee, and when I was young, I got gun safety training courses in school. There were gun stores and ammo stores literally everywhere. You couldn't drive down the street without seeing somebody selling them. Like there used to be ammo and reloading stations or reloading businesses. People would run out of their trailers and stuff. Like I am from an area and come from a background that is kind of like libertarian utopia in a way, because there's basically no police because there's basically no crime. And the only law enforcement we had was like local sheriffs, and they were all really based and cool. And the reason why there was no fucking crime is if anybody stepped out of line, they would just get shot and buried in the woods. Like that, like if you have a homogenous population that all kind of believe and feel the same ways about things, and they all live in a rural place, that libertarian shit does kind of work. That's why I like what Papa Hoppa has to say about that. But anyway, sorry.
You know,
but I'm not a
the
libertarian.
Somali-
I'm not even a libertarian. That's my personal experience and personal inclination towards that kind of managed lawlessness. It does work for me and my people, but it doesn't work for everybody.
I mean,
Which is why that's another way to answer the question. It adds another wrinkle in it. That people get reward for following the more polite aspects of society, and outsiders do not. They don't get anything for it. They don't even get to pretend to be like us. We get rewarded when we do the right thing, and they don't. It needs to happen so that our society gets an upper hand over them. We need to make it feel as unfair for them to live here as possible. And Japan already does it. There's all sorts of things you can't have in Japan if you're an outsider, and that's on purpose. You never get this idea that you're comfortable enough that you're actually living there. You're just being tolerated. Maybe
right.
you're appreciated for what you bring to the table, but it's not forever. It's not meant to be, and you're supposed to go home eventually. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to point out that the Somali
Auslander Rouse.
community, the Somali community operates in a largely libertarian manner, outside of the fact that they're doing it with government money. Like their community is pretty lawless. There's not a lot of enforcement of laws within their community, and the government doesn't really impinge upon them much, except for to give them more fucking money. So that's, that definitely needs to be disincentivized. And I know that I've talked about this on this podcast before, that we can pass laws that are restrictive, but not restrictive to American culture. We can pass bans on halal slaughter and kosher. Butchery.
Yeah.
We can
I care
pass
more about
laws
that one than the other one.
Right. I mean, and we can pass laws that restrict foreign behaviors that don't actually affect Americans, and it makes our country less friendly to those, like less welcoming to those other outsider populations. And that's how it should be. We shouldn't be as welcoming to outsider populations so that the Somalis can come in and set up a giant fucking community and operate in a libertarian fashion within their own communities.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, it's like when you look at it, like it really is up to the people in an area to keep it. Like governments can't really do that well. Like
right.
When it comes to like culture and ethnic identity and safe communities, the government can't really do that for you. It's up to us. Like, you can have a government that helps facilitate that by just being hands off. You can have a government that helps facilitate that by making sure swarms of migrants aren't pumped into your area. Like the government can help with that. But when it comes to like making people integrate and forcing people out you don't want, that's not the job of the government. That's not the job of the local police. That's the job of the community, the people, the churches, the families, the schools, the teachers, the tradesmen that work in the area. Those people all need to make outsiders feel very uncomfortable and very unwelcome unless they conform and do what they're expected to, or they need to fear the torches and pitchforks. Like, that's actually a good, healthy thing. You're supposed to make outsiders feel that way, or you'll get taken over. Like, you have to be that way. That's why I go out of my way now to be an asshole to foreigners. I don't want to. It's not fun. I don't want to hurt people's feelings, but I give people the stink eye. I go up to people and ask them, what are you doing here? Like, if I see an obvious foreigner at the store, like, I haven't seen anybody wearing like a hijab or anything, but like if I see someone that's like obviously not from around here, like an Indian or a fucking African or something, I'll walk up to them and be like, hey, where are you from? And if they speak with an accent, I'll immediately recoil and be like, whoa, you don't sound like you're from around here. What are you doing here? What brought you here? Why are you here? Where do you work? Why are you here? Like, I accost people that way because, number one, it's not illegal. And number two, it's shocking and jarring and makes them feel defensive. And that's how I want foreigners to feel when they're in my East Tennessee area. I don't want them to be welcome because they're not. And that's up to all of us to do that now. We all have to be that way. And we have to network and build community with people who also will act that way.
Based.
There really is no other choice.
Yeah, well, I'm not just saying that for easy based points on the internet. I'm saying it because it's necessary. Like, you have you have what you can hold. It's a republic if you can keep it. All those sentiments are true here. You only have a community and an identity if you and your kinfolk are willing to defend it and either make people conform or push foreigners out. If you aren't willing to do that, you don't have shit. I hate I have to say it that ugly, but that's just how it is. We all have to take that on ourselves to be that way now.
It do be like that.
Mr. Wistansel.
It do be like that indeed.
I like this at night. Seats taken, can't sit here.
No, I think gamifying and monetizing the deportation of people would be hilarious and awesome. I think if we did the same thing that Japan did, where it's like, hey, you got someone, we'll give you $100. Fuck, I'd do it for 50. I'd do it for a pat on the back, honestly. Anything we can do to incentivize people to fight against that scourge is okay with me.
I'm happy you mentioned that because I remember that. Do any of you remember that video from Minneapolis during the Battle of Minneapolis where the ICE agent was talking to that like random journo? He was like, "Shit, I would do this for free."
I love that. That was so based. He's like,
that.
"Shit, lady, I'd do this for free."
Shit, how do I make $200,000 a year fucking putting illegals outside of our country?
Well, you're not big or strong enough. I'm sorry, but they might let you drive a van.
That'd be fun.
Do dispatch. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could do.
Oh
dispatch.
no.
Yeah, you can work comms. Yeah. All right. Well, anything else on this topic, or shall we move on to the last dragon?
3 or 12 could become a deportation postman Pat.
That's mean, but it's funny.
That's not mean. It'd be great.
Let's see. What do we have? We have one more. Oh yeah, this one. Let's see. We still don't have any paid chats, sadly. So let's go ahead and I'll check PayPal one more time. I didn't refresh that particular.
Support the nation of Israel.
I love it when you say that. It's so
I
cute.
love the nation of Israel.
Yes, we all do. It's very important. The nation of Israel cares about the sanctity and the defense of East Tennessee, and from the mountains to the Tallahassee, my people will be free.
Oh, God.
Right.
Big goes 815 over in the chat. 3 or 12 may not be strong, but he has better grip strength than 1 billion Indians.
That's true. That's true.
A better grip strength than Zoran Mamdani.
Oh,
Bravo,
lift more than him too.
bravo.
Definitely. All right. Well, we have one dragon left, and it's the sins of the father. Bede, you're the party leader. Do you want to take it, or do you want to pass it off to someone else?
Oh, I'll take it.
Okay. We move now to a local site down in Georgia. Let's go up here. Opening statements to start in the trial of a Georgia high school shooting suspect's father. Opening statements are expected on Monday in the trial of a man whose teenage son killed 2 students and 2 teachers at a Georgia high school in September 2024. They say accused of, but he did it. He definitely did it. The case is one of several around the country where prosecutors are trying to hold parents responsible after their children are accused in fatal shootings. Colin Gray faces 29 counts, including 2 counts of second-degree murder, 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter, and numerous counts of second-degree cruelty to children related to the shooting at the Appalachia High School in Winder. This didn't happen too far from me, by the way. It's just about 5 or 6 hours south of me. The indictment says Gray gave his son, Colt, access to guns and ammunition after receiving sufficient warning that Colt Gray would harm and endanger the bodily safety of others. Prosecutors argue that amounts to cruelty to children, and second-degree murder is defined in Georgia law as causing the death of a child by committing the crime of cruelty to children. I know that sounds like legalese because it is. The trial is being held in Barrow County where the shooting happened. The defense asked for a change of venue because of pre-trial publicity, and prosecutors agreed. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Where is it? Okay. Investigators have said Colt Gray, who was 14 at the time of the shooting, carefully planned his September 4th, 2024 shooting at the school northeast of Atlanta, which is attended by 1,900 students. He smuggled a semi-automatic rifle in a bag with the barrel wrapped in poster board. He left his second period class, came out of the bathroom, shot people, etc., etc. Investigator testified at a pretrial hearing that Colin Gray gave his son the rifle as a Christmas present, which means that he would have given him the rifle 10 months before the shooting, by the way, and bought a larger magazine so the weapon could hold more rounds. This is entirely anti-gun, anti-white bullshit. The magazine he had was a normal 30-round magazine. That's not a larger... It's larger than the little pissant 10-round or 12-round it came with. But the magazine he had for the shooting was a standard 30-round that I've loaded dozens of times myself. It wasn't like a giant banana clip or anything. Just a normal, regular magazine for an AR. Anyway, Colin Gray knew his son was obsessed with school shooters, even having a shrine in his bedroom to Nicholas Cruz, the shooter in the 2018 massacre at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. A Georgia Bureau of Investigation agent testified that the teen's parents had discussed their son's fascination with school shooters, but decided that it was in a joking or meme context and not a serious issue. Colin Gray was also aware his son's mental health had deteriorated and sought help from a counseling service weeks before the shooting. We quote from the father, "We have had a very difficult past couple of years and he needs help. Anger, anxiety, quick to be volatile. I don't know what we can do," Colin Gray wrote about his son because he wanted to get him psychological help. Now, this man is facing the rest of his life in prison because of his son. So that's what the topic is about tonight. So let's move to the wise, beautiful blue dragon here. The blue with us tonight is the same philosopher and astral traveler who has visited us previously, and he's glad to be back again to learn more about our beliefs and our ethics. He chose this story tonight to learn from us from the following question. Bede, what legal and social punishments do you think parents of terrorists should suffer, if any, and why?
Well, in this instance, considering his son was a minor, then yes, he definitely has some large degree of culpability. I'd say in this situation, it sounds more negligent than anything. It's not like he's directly encouraged his son to do any of this, but I think there's clear warning signs that something wasn't right. And combining, mental instability with access to lethal weaponry is obviously not a good combination. And so I think he should have put more of an effort to talk to his son about his issues, or got the help that he needed. And while that was being addressed, he should have kept any lethal weaponry away from him. But in terms of punishments,
it's difficult, isn't it? Difficult question.
Yeah, because it's hard because I'm from a country where obviously guns are heavily restricted. So an incident like this you probably never really encounter. So it's hard. All I would say is that is that he definitely should have been more responsible. I mean, from that article, it doesn't sound like the son is facing any punishment, is he? It's just the father.
No. The son is in prison.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh well, I shouldn't say prison. He is in juvenile detention.
Yeah. Yes. What I would say in this situation is,
indeed they don't, Big O's. Indeed they don't.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is very anti-white, and we'll get to that later. But please go ahead, Bede.
Well, probably in this situation, you'd say, well, you clearly can't be responsible with guns because ultimately they are, lethal weapons. So I'll probably confiscate the guns or something in that instance because clearly they can't be trusted to be responsible with them. But I don't know if I would have necessarily send the father to jail because obviously the son, who's the perpetrator, is in detention anyway.
Because they're trying to hang 30 charges on the father, including 2 manslaughter and 2 murder charges. That means that man will be in prison the rest of his life. I don't think that is just at all.
No, because ultimately, I don't know how long the son's going to be in detention for, but let's say the son is allowed out eventually. The father needs to be there for his son to help guide him on the proper path, because ultimately this is not a good start out in life. Going to juvenile detention for trying to kill other students. So, in a way, it's almost like the legal enforcement here are trying to inflict the worst possible punishment on them.
Yeah.
Go ahead, 3. If you got something to say.
I'm in pretty much in agreement. It needs. I think there should be some punishments in order to create to at least create the image of consequences that you need to parent your children. There will be consequences if you're not just pooping out children everywhere you go and then not taking care of them, and then they become radicalized because of fatherless behavior, whatever. You can't have a society full of unparented people. We're already seeing the consequences of that. We grew up unsupervised on the internet. There was some upsides to it because and there's some downsides to it. It's the Wild West, but technically it's not exactly a place you go and then you're shot. Unless you're getting into the dark web stuff, then no, it was psychologically questionable, not really physically questionable. And I
don't think your parents should be in jail.
Yeah, exactly. They shouldn't be in jail for that, because my father clearly did a decent job. All right, he was the one who taught me. He's the one who grounded me. He's the one who got me to respect technology and to respect philosophy and literature and classical music, and that was already enough to put me ahead of 95% of people.
Yeah,
he made me respect things. He made me respect wisdom, tradition, history, all of those things that are important. He made me into a Renaissance man that most people respect. I would say,
let me address this real quick. The kid at first played it off like it was 4chan memes, but clearly he was very disturbed. So in the year leading up to the school shooting, the parents did try to get him psychological help, and they did try to help him, but
it's not enough.
But they didn't take his firearms away, which was probably not smart. But anyway, go ahead, 3.
How old was he again?
14.
14, most places, that's not old enough to have a firearm, even in the United States.
You can have it, you just can't purchase
it. Yeah.
I had my first firearm when I was 5 years old. Yeah.
There are many states that limit it to maybe to some kind of hunting rifle, and it has to be certain length.
Well, they're wrong for that.
And I don't disagree necessarily. I mean, there's plenty of evidence from our own history that people who are that young can handle firearms. I'm just stating that that's a thing in some places. So, the fact that he was 14 in a state that allows that, right? And the parents are too fucktarded to not teach them to respect them. What the fuck? Okay, maybe they do need it. Maybe they do need some jail time. Because they set him up for this situation. Not necessarily the terrorism, but maybe a mishap where he. Okay,
you said that he deserved jail time. How much?
Not a lot. I don't think a lot, because in the end of the day, I don't think you can take personal responsibility for individual actions of others.
Okay.
I think at most it's negligence.
So, as someone who has been a visitor on the taxpayer dime to the local prisoner Hilton,
Yeah.
I don't think prisons are good at all. I don't think they rehabilitate people, and I don't think, quote, doing your time means what it did 80 or 90 years ago.
I think it only rehabilitates people who were already going to think about their actions.
Yeah, but if you put a 50-year-old or a 40 or 50-year-old white man in a prison in Georgia with who I know were in prisons in Georgia, he's not going to be rehabilitated. He will come out worse for it with a more twisted and damaged mind and more hate in his heart than he had before he went in.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
my personal view of prisons is that the only purpose of them is to keep people in a box.
Yes,
If
and
anything,
to make shitloads of money off the taxpayers.
If anything, and if I can continue to speak,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
not you. It's Fat Dave. It's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. The point here is that something has to be done about the situation, right? The fact that we've had no consequences for this clearly isn't working, because it just churns out teenage terrorists where they get no input from anyone, regardless if it's their parents, counselors, teachers, anyone. They're clearly not interfacing with these people. And the fact that they're a teenager and they don't really have a whole lot of wisdom means they go for some sort of radicalized idea, and they're impatient, and then they're just like, I should just kill everyone. I should just kill the people who are in my way of doing things, whether it be for degenerate reasons or even for righteous reasons. It's not the answer. We have political options for a reason. We have, if a cop fucks you over, you sue them, etc., etc., etc. There has to be some consequences. If that has to be throw them in the padded cell and get them a psychiatrist, so be it. I think it's just as necessary for the parents as for the children, because how did the children get here if he was being parented? Clearly, it wasn't. Only in like you said, only in the last year or so did they even make an attempt to get him any sort of psychiatric help. But we all know what therapy is. We all know what therapy is most of the time. It's just you paying a leftist until you agree with them.
Yep, it's emasculating your son. It's filling his head full of anti-white lies. It's not good.
And that drills down to what parenting has become, even in my lifetime, even just 20 years ago, because I spent most of my formative years in a daycare. My mother was out there working.
Oof. Yeah.
My mother was out there working, and my dad was doing bartending. And when he wasn't doing jobs, he would actually keep us. He would be the one around a lot of the time. He did a lot of the cooking. He did a lot of the home improvement. He did a lot of the chores.
Well, you've spoken a lot on this, so let's move to someone else, because I know Hunger Merchant has to go in a few minutes.
Okay, well, my main point was parents have been outsourcing their responsibilities to other people, and we see the consequences now.
Hunger, let's hear from you before you have to go.
Yeah, sure. One of the reasons I haven't said much on this topic is because I can see both sides of the argument, and I don't like being a dirty fence sitter, but I might just concede to being a dirty fence sitter.
This is a hard one. This is a hard one.
Yeah, like, as a Christian, I don't believe you can judge the sins of the son, or judge the sins of the father on the son, or the sins of the son on the father. I as a Christian, I just don't believe that. Although, I mean, I would as a parent, I'm not a parent. It'll be a totally different situation when I am, but I'm not a parent, and I just wouldn't give my 13-year-old son a firearm. I would let my kids shoot guns. I would not let them own guns until they're at least an adult, or at least not 13, which is when his father got him a weapon.
Yeah,
but
agreed.
I mean that's my personal parenting thing. Others are different.
Sure.
So it's just tough. It's just really tough. I mean, I think I'm more comfortable saying there should be more. There should absolutely be a social punishment for neglect of a child, because I mean, obviously the parent did not. I say neglect because the parent did not do enough,
right,
to stop the situation, and that is neglect.
Especially, it was the father's job. Once he knew his son was mentally disturbed and praised terrorists, mass shooters, school shooters, he should have taken the firearms away from his son at that point, at least.
I mean, that's bare minimum.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not a healthy combo.
Yeah, it's not
no.
healthy. It's not good. It's not good
I mean,
for the sun.
the
It's not
signs
good for
were
people at
there.
school. It's bad. Yeah.
I mean, that's all I have to say about it. It's just it's
Okay.
a tough question, but again, I don't think the sins of the son should reflect on the father.
Yeah. Well, since you're speaking, let's go ahead and tell you good night. You've been a wonderful guest. I know you have an OGC meeting to get to. Is there anything you would like to shill or promote while you're here before you head out?
No, I appreciate it. I mean, I love coming on D&D. It's a great time, surrounded by friends.
Thank you.
The only thing I have to shill is just follow me on Twitter @HungerDye, Hunger DYE, and that's it. Just join the Old Glory Club. If you have not signed up for your Old Glory Club chapter, shoot an email.
All right. There is Hunger's link in the chat to follow him on the Twitter. Hunger's a good friend of mine, and he's fun. He says and writes funny and smart things. You should give him a follow. Well, Hunger, thank you for being here. I'll definitely be in touch. You're definitely welcome back again whenever you can be, my friend. Have a good night.
Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
See you next time.
Good night.
Okay. Bede, Fat Dave, what do you guys have to say on this one?
Go ahead, Bede. I'll let you go. I'm the only parent on the panel, so I have a lot to say. So
Okay,
I'll let you go first.
Yeah, let Bede go, then you can jack your jaw for a while.
So what I was going to say is, I think the problem here is about what you said about prisons. Yeah, I think the issue is the whole justice and what punishments are given out for certain crimes are completely imbalanced. Like, again, I think, there's far more crimes that people should be executed for, face the death penalty, are not done. Because if you did that, you have far less people in prison, so that'll make that less of a problem. And secondly, as you said, I think there's plenty of social punishments you could inflict on people that don't necessarily require going to prison. I think prison should only be if someone is genuinely threatening or dangerous.
Yeah, sort of like an asylum, but for criminals that can't be rehabilitated, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think we really need to move away from this fucking lame idea that prisons are some sort of rehabilitative thing.
Yeah,
They're absolutely
definitely
not.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
they shouldn't be looked at that way. They need to be looked at, we're taking a fucking dangerous person and separating them from society.
Yep.
Now, ostensibly, they're supposed to be there long enough to pay their debt to society, and who knows how long that is. In a fair world, this 14-year-old would never breathe free air again. There's no reason he needs to ever be outside of a fucking prison ever again.
I mean,
Now,
I don't even think he should be in prison. I think mass shooters and terrorists just need to be executed. Just full stop.
Yeah,
I agree.
He never breathe free air again. Whether that means he rots in a hole or he swings from a short,
Right.
A short drop, whatever.
Short drop, sudden stop. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think in this instance, it really does depend on what, the father is culpable to more of a degree. I have a hard time saying, well, he should get off scot-free and blah, blah, blah. And I know it's hard to keep track of what your fucking kids do. Your kids will go behind your back, especially teenagers, and you can't watch them. You can't watch them 24/7.
Right.
But this kid clearly got to a point where he was unparented, or he was either unparented or misparented to a very severe fucking degree.
Yeah.
And when this kid's got school shooter shrines in his fucking room, I don't care if he's being edgy or shit. If my kids started doing that, I mean, they don't have fucking guns, but if they did, I would take the fucking guns away. I wouldn't be just running that risk. This guy's just rolling the risk on that his kid's a fucking edgelord, but that's a little too edgy. And,
if your kid builds a shrine to fucking mass murdering terrorists in his room, it's time to have a serious talk with the kid and take his guns away.
Right.
Well,
do you know if your kid started or an actual terrorist? You should know your kid a little bit better than that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's like if your kid just hangs up a fucking ISIS flag in his bedroom all of a sudden, right? Or you're just going to be like, oh, well, he's just converting to Islam. It's like, no, he's fucking following terrorist ideology. Yeah. There's a big difference between being a fucking edgelord and idolizing terrorists and idolizing murderers and shit like that. And if the dad knew that shit was going on, he should have intervened a lot sooner. And ideally, you know, I mean, like I say, misparenting, because he never should have gotten to that point.
Yep.
Right. It never should have been a thing. The dad should have been a better fucking example to him. He should have intervened more heavily in the child's life than he did. Obviously, the father, like 3 said, he was outsourcing his parenting a lot of the time, outsourcing it to the internet, outsourcing it to the fucking school, not providing any sort of example.
And I know we talk about it a lot here. I know we talk about it a lot on the channel, Dave, but this is another example of why you don't give your children away to daycare in public schools. Because they're just breeding grounds for bad ideas, anti-whiteism, frustration, anti-male emasculation, just all the thing, and not to mention all the abuse that goes on in public schools. Like, if you are a parent, do everything in your power to never send your children to daycare in public schools. It's bad for the child. It's bad for the child. Don't do it.
And shit, I forgot what I was going to say.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Well, yeah, no, and that's the other thing, is that this kid was going to school every day, and he's probably hearing from the school how bad he is because he's a fucking white kid, how everything is his fault, how all of the evils in the world are perpetrated by his sex and his race and all that stuff. So at the point where he's told he's evil every fucking day he goes to school, why would the kid do anything but go, well, I'm fucking evil, I'm just going to do evil shit? If I'm,
and also don't forget, this was north of Atlanta, where it's like 80% African there. And so you know what he was seeing every day at school. You know what the kind of shit that his teachers were saying and putting in his head.
Yep.
You know the shit he was catching from other students. You know.
Yep. He was going through what I went through. I was in a predominantly black high school and schools, all of them, and I know exactly what they go through. They make you feel like it's everything from ambivalence to making you feel like the devil. Yeah. And the administration is the worst, because they have the power to basically engage in narco tyranny against you, and they will, and they did it first.
Yeah.
It's I've been experiencing that shit my entire life. My own fucking country.
Yeah, and so this kid has been demonized, and the parents didn't bother to step in on that shit either. I'm sure they're part of the shit-lib problem, where they're like, yeah, you know, we need diversity, blah blah blah, you know, and even if they weren't, they didn't do enough to protect their fucking son from it. And what did it do? It fucking twisted him. It made him go find people that would validate him.
Yep.
It made him go to dark places, and there was no coming back from it after a while, because when you're told every day you're irredeemable just because of how you were born, then why the fuck wouldn't you just lean into it and become completely irredeemable? Which is what this
that is the real evil of all of this systemic anti-whiteism in everything. Is it poisons our young people's minds. It breaks them. It makes them non-functional people. And like, that's just like I know we talk about, you know, white erasure and stuff all the time, but like, this really is what we face. Like, what this son went through, the dad and the son, this is what all of the anti-whiteism is about. It's about breaking us, making us non-functional families, making us non-functional men and women. Like, this is what anti-whiteism is designed to do. This is the end result, to ruin us as people, and so we don't exist anymore. And unfortunately, this man's family has been white erased now because of this garbage.
Well, and I think they're doing, I mean, this is clearly an anti-white action, because as everybody's pointed out in the chat, they're not going to do this in fucking Philadelphia. They're not going to do this in fucking Cleveland or Chicago. Right. You know, and really, if this guy was the fucking tip of that spear, where they did start holding all those fucking gangster kid shooters' parents responsible for their fucking dumb kids shooting up other kids, like, yeah, I'm sorry, that's a sacrifice we'd have to make for him if it's going to lead to broader, but you know, it's not, you know, it's just, they're just doing it because he's a fucking white suburban guy. They're mad at him for not, and instead of just realizing that this kid was driven to it and that the father was negligent, they're going to fucking come down like a ton of bricks on the dad and not ever address any of the fatherless behavior that has led the murder rate of the 13% to be so fucking high.
Yep. It's just, and I would have put the comment up on screen, but for whatever reason, the StreamYard library or the StreamYard feed has just not refreshed the chat. But Big O's said in chat that the system is more responsible than the father, in his opinion. And I kind of agree. I kind of agree because, like, whether he was a deadbeat dad or he was a workaholic dad just to make sure that the bills were paid. In looking into this, I didn't see anything in anything I could find about this kid and his dad. I didn't see anything about a mother at all. So he could have just been a single dad with a piece of crap mother that left, or a good mother who died or went away or whatever. But like one regular dad trying to work and pay bills and take care of his son, like he's in an area that's like 80 or 90% black. Like, what can he do? Like, he should have just moved. Like, he should have left. He should have taken his kid and left long before it got to this point. But like, no, it's the system. Like, it's just, it's like always, it's the systemic anti-whiteism. It's just, it poisons our minds and destroys us as people and steals our possibilities. Like, it's disgusting. Like, this has to end before we end.
Well, as he likes to say, the purpose of the system is what it does.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yep. So.
Yeah, this is a good point. We covered this years ago. They imprisoned the guy for life who filmed the altercation that led to the shooting of Ahmaud Arbery. The system is like we covered that on my channel like 4 or 5 years ago. Like it's disgusting the way that they treat us. Like that guy's still in prison. Derek Chauvin's still in jail. God, why can't I remember his name? The guy who they made an example out of at the 2017 Charlottesville thing. Who was that guy's name again?
Oh, the guy who ran over.
He didn't run over the guy who they said did. He bumped the fat bitch with his car, and because there were people all around his car, and they pinned Fields. Yeah, thank you, Fields.
Yeah,
name was Fields. Thank you, Big O's. Like that guy deserves justice. James Fields. Like there are so many of our white men who have been martyred by the system and put in prison unfairly. It disgusts me. These men need to be freed and redeemed, even if they were shitty people. I don't care. They need to be freed and redeemed. They don't deserve what's being done to them. Ugh, it's so fucking shit.
I think throwing the book at the dad like that has very much like we're going to sue the gun manufacturer energy.
Yes, very much so. Yeah.
Like they're not actually solving too much of the problem by putting the dad in jail forever.
I mean, obviously the dad is more culpable than a gun manufacturer in this case, but like, it's the same energy.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyhow.
Yeah. So, 3, I know you had a lot to say earlier, and for sake of time, I sort of sped us along. Is there more you want to say on this before we look at memes?
I definitely say that I have some opinion. Yeah, I'm in agreement that the system has a lot of responsibility there, but that's exactly why you need to take even more responsibility. You are a parent. Do not settle in one of these places. Get the fuck out of there. Get to a state that actually will provide you with the life you want. That's the mistake my parents made, and they both regretted it. Particularly my dad, since he's the one who raised me with all of my values.
Mm-hmm.
He thought that we should have gotten out of there a long time ago. I wish I grew up in Virginia. I would have way better memories, way better education. I probably would have my shit straight. I'd probably be a young professional with a business or something and running it out of that. I would have helped my dad clean out that house a lot earlier while he was alive.
Mm-hmm.
I would have everything would have been better.
Virginia's a good state, despite all the ugly politics that goes on in Virginia and all the shit libs and anti-whites everywhere. Like Virginia is full of good people, and Virginia has a lot of beautiful land, a lot of great communities. Like Virginia is a great state.
Yeah, the Shenandoah Valley is my home. It truly is.
And
my good friend
I'll say
of the
it again as a parent, like
from there.
It's you spend your whole life looking back at what you could have done better for your kids, you know, but you can't really do anything about that in the present. You had to have done that in the past, and you can't always make those decisions. So like you can't don't be too hard on your folks for not moving out sooner because they didn't know any better.
Oh yeah, I don't disagree. I know I'm not, and it's mostly because things happened. They got into a house in a new development. They didn't see all that stuff coming. It was 1989. they just weren't radicalized, and that's okay. You don't want to be really, but taking responsibility is important.
I'm a little more extreme. I want everyone possible to be as radicalized as possible.
Now, yes, yeah. What are you going to do? Except for learn from the mistakes and act on them. And when I have kids, they're going to be raised in Virginia, and I might have to homeschool them.
Man, you might not have much of an opportunity to do that after. Well, Virginia is a whole fucking separate story. But anyhow,
hopefully by then there's like a cybernetic implant, and I can take a hard drive and just pump shit into their brain.
It probably won't be like that. It'll probably be more like neural net shared VI type of thing. But anyway, do you guys want to move on and do some memes? Because we have some fun white pill stuff in the memes. That'll be nice.
Indeed.
Be a nice palate cleanser. Before we move on, we do have one paid chat over on Entropy, and it's actually from my good friend Fat Dave here, live with us on stream. Thank you very much, Fat Dave. You're a real gem. You've always been kind to me with your dollars, despite being kind to me with your friendship as well. For $25, thank you very much, Dave. I really appreciate that. He says, I'm not going to let this stream go untributed. Thanks for all you do, Yiz. Well, man, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I like putting these streams together, and I like just being able to talk about this stuff and have people who will listen, because we really need to talk about all this shit, man. Like, it needs to come out, and my family and the people I live with around here, they don't want to hear it. Oh, thank you, Dissident Knight. He says he sent something over on Subscribestar. I haven't refreshed that in a few minutes. Let's see. Yeah, it showed up. Thank you. $20. Thank you very much. I understand your 19 for 20 earlier comment. Thank you very much. Dissident Knight for $20 says, Patriot Pat and clear them out cat. That's good. That's great.
Oh, yes, indeed.
That's great. That's great.
That'll be your job for your 12.
Oh, yeah. I really love being able to do these streams and talk about this stuff, because people around here, they just don't want to hear it. Like, they're tired of hearing me say stuff all the time. And what friends I have, or had, I should say, they don't want to hear this stuff either. And half of them are shit libs. That's why I don't talk to them anymore. Like, it's just this community that I've built around this talk show, it really helps me. It's good for me. And I love the friends and the fans that I've made doing this. And it's the main reason why I'm not going to stop. And I really appreciate you guys donating money and making it worth my time. It really means the world to me. Thank you so much. All right. So we have, courtesy of Bede of Britannia, we have some white pills to have a look at here. And let me go over here and give me just a second. I have to load it up here. We have 2 Rupert Lowe videos to look at, and they are very good. We'll start with a short, simple one. If I can pull it up. Oh, it's saved to my desktop. Okay, that's where it is. All right. All right, give me just a second. Come on, StreamYard. Let me see this. Show it to me. All right, there we go. So let's go ahead and pipe this in here. All right. Let me embiggen. Here's the first one. This one's short. The next one's a minute long. This one's only 14 seconds. Check this out.
Oh, no.
Exists to provide the best possible care to patients. Now, some of those patients will feel more comfortable speaking in their native language.
I don't care.
Right?
I have no interest in that.
Well, fine. Like
they should speak English. They live in England. They should speak English.
Doctors take
Based. Holy based.
Yeah.
Super duper based.
Yeah, but it's
there's
even
no
more
other
based
answer to that.
Yeah,
but it's even more based because it's who he's talking to. It's Ash Sarkar that he's saying that to.
I hate her
Just
so bad.
Star Trek. I'm literally a communist.
Yeah, the literally communist. God, I hate Ash Sarkar. Oh, I see a bunch of white hearts in the chat. A bunch of people agreeing with me that they love this community too. I love you guys. I'm so glad that we get to do this every week. It helps me get through the week so much. You have no idea. Well, maybe you do have an idea. That's why you come here, because it helps you too. All right. This one, I have not seen yet, but I've been told what's in it, and I am excited to share this with you guys. Here we go.
So quickly. So
go ahead. Sure.
Yeah, so this is he did a Christmas message last year, and this is a clip from that Christmas message, and you'll see why I selected it.
Okay, sounds good. 007 Severed said something I want to respond to real quick before we do this video. Where is that comment? Man, what? The chat is not refreshing in the StreamYard interface. It's not letting me. It's not showing me comments.
That's weird.
Yeah, normally it's real good at keeping up with the chat feed, but it's just not. Thank you for all the hearts, Ardent Party, and Linda, and Kingdom of Inland, and Simon, and Sonny, and anyway, 00 Severed says, I look positively white compared to her. No way I'm the same genes. 00 Severed, are you of Central South Asian descent as well, like Ash Sarkar? Are you of similar racial makeup? If so, that's interesting, because if you are, you might be the only one who follows me and comes into my chat. Oh, you are? Okay, cool. Well, let's give... I'm going to give old 00 Severed a white heart because he understands and he's on Team White. Mainly Persian genetics, he says. Mainly Persian. Okay. Well, nice. That's cool that you are on our side of things here. And like I've always said, you're a good guy. We'll deport you last.
What I'd say is as long as you don't insist that we bomb Iran. So yeah.
Bomb
Iran. Bomb Iran. Anyway, no, I jest, of course. Like 00 Severed, like, you know, there are African and Asian people that listen to me, and like I'm glad that you guys are good examples of your race and your people, that you understand that for the West to be good and to be a good place to live in, it has to be for white people. Because when white people are in control of our lands and we're healthy and happy, we are very, very kind to the outsiders who visit us. And we need to get to that point again, because I don't want to be ugly to anyone who doesn't deserve it. And that means non-whites too. And so I'm glad that you're here. Thank you very much. All right, let's enjoy. Would you like to preface this, Mr. Bede of Britannia, any more than you already have?
No, just play.
All right, here we go.
To the young white men who feel ignored and insulted, I want to speak directly to you.
Based.
For too long, young white men in this country have been treated as if your concerns don't matter, your struggles don't count, and your identity is something to apologize for. That your love of your country is somehow racist and wrong. You've been told to stay quiet, to step aside, to accept being blamed for things you never did and problems that you didn't create. Let me be clear. There is nothing wrong with being white. There is nothing wrong with being a man. There is nothing wrong with being straight. You are not the problem. The system is the problem. The cancer of DEI, along with the Blairite legacy, must be eradicated and erased from our society. Britain needs strong, grounded, responsible men. Men and women who work hard, protect their communities, build their families, and stand firm in their values. And despite what some might tell you, there's nothing shameful about wanting to be that person. We should be unapologetic in our promotion of those ideals.
Jeez.
I say to you today, keep going. It will get better.
Holy crap.
Fucking A.
Yeah, he literally said it's okay to be white.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. Jeez, oh, Pete.
Do you see why I was optimistic?
Okay, Rupert Lowe is 100% better than I thought he was. Like, that is incredible. Like, that is all of the right things being said for the right reasons. That is incredible. The only thing that I wish that he would have said is if he would have woven in the Go Free lexicon somehow. But that's just wish upon a star stuff. Like, everything he said is incredible. That is absolutely how I want every man with a voice to be speaking right now. 100% that. Just across the board all the time. 100%. That is incredible. That is absolutely amazing. Is that video on X, asks Ardent. Yes, sir. Let me send it to you right now while I'm thinking about it. Give me just a second. It's on Rupert Lowe's Twitter, by the way.
Yeah, you'd have to. If you go on the media tab, you can find it in the media because
I'm already sending it to him on Twitter. It's good. Me and Arden talk a lot.
It's crazy that even seems remotely controversial what he just fucking said.
I know, right? Like,
yeah.
That's the most normal, natural, healthy thing in the world that every person of every race and ethnicity should feel. It's just normal and healthy, and everyone should be that way. It's just we've been mentally warred on for so long. It's so refreshing to hear somebody white speak confidently and positively about us as a people. It's so nice. I love that. So thank you for that, Bede of Britannia. That was wonderful. Thank you so much. And we just got an entropy again. Thank you so much, Paulie B. Good to see you, brother. Paulie B for $20 on entropy says, "Just want to let you know, good luck. We're all counting on you, Leslie Nielsen."
Nothing to see here.
I love that. I love that so much. And big thank you to Dissident Knight, longtime supporter of mine. Thank you so much for the $20 tonight. And of course, thank you, Dave, for the dollars. It always matters. It always helps. Thank you so much. So let me check PayPal. Make sure we're not leaving on anything that came in over there. Sometimes Dawn squeaks one in at the very end because I think she's just waking up in Australia land. Okay. All right. Nothing new on PayPal either. So, well, gentlemen, let's look at some memes and have some laughs. We have plenty of breathing room tonight because the Old Glory Club stream isn't until 9 o'clock Eastern, so we still have plenty of time. All right. So let's move over to some memeage. Now, this one's kind of cumbersome, but it made me laugh. Somebody made a retarded MAGA idiot meme, and I thought this was pretty fun. This is for all the stupid MAGA chuds that just nod and go along with what Fox News says. This one sort of made me giggle, and I wanted to share it, especially the Israel good and Epstein was cool guys. That made me laugh. That was pretty funny.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Next up, every king needs his queen, baby.
Oh, no.
Oh, fuck, you're not seeing it. Oh, no.
Nope.
Oh, no. Oh, no, we have to start over.
No, I'm not seeing it all right. That's for damn sure.
No. Oh, no.
You know what I mean.
Oh, I did goof. It's been so long since I've done that. Oh, I feel like an asshole.
Oh, you corped on cam on national television.
I forgot that I killed my cam when we watched those videos. Oh, I'm going to blame Bede. I'm going to pass the buck. It's all your fault.
Okay, I like NBC right a lot more than woke right.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. All right.
Yeah, NPC right's good.
Yeah, NPC right's a fun meme. And, supports globalist plan. Trump always right. Israel good. Anti-gun if Trump say so. Like, yeah, it's good. It's good. This is don't be this guy. Don't be this guy. Support people for the right reasons, not the dumb sheep reasons. And then, of course, every king needs his queen.
Yeah.
Love this one.
God damn, that's so fucking funny. Holy shit. That video.
I have a couple more of this one. Here's a good AI one of these two.
There we go.
I like this one. Why is Africa underdeveloped? Capitalist exploitation, lack of innovation, colonialism, and racism. I'm just so happy you asked.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, I love that one. All right. Next up. If you notice the shark in the background, you're probably gay. This test has been scientifically proven.
I'm in the blue. I'm in the blue yellow realm where the lack of innovation is not trying to put white people there.
All I have to say is I noticed the shark eventually.
Yeah. Eventually.
It took me a little bit as well. I was like, damn, those are some titties. My goodness. Oh, wait, there's a shark. Like that was my thought process on this one.
Thank you, titties.
I'm going to attribute my faster than 5 seconds to being intersex, which means I'm always half gay no matter how you cut it. So 2.5 seconds is on par for me. All right. I love this one. This is, of course, from the horrible halftime show. Hearing bards sing in Spanish will inflict psychic damage to certain characters.
Oh, of course, I love the Elder Scrolls reference. So,
oh, me too. I'm pretty sure that this framing is from Oblivion, right? This is the Oblivion. Frame.
yes, it is. Yeah.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah, Oblivion's a good game. It's a good game. The storyline probably better than Skyrim. I enjoy the sandboxing and the play better in Skyrim and the mods, but as a story and as like a game out of the box, I think Oblivion's better than Skyrim.
Well,
just my
I'm very nostalgic for Oblivion.
My personal preference for the best Elder Scrolls game is Morrowind. I love Morrowind. It's my favorite.
Dicks out for Oblivion.
From what I've played of Morrowind, I'd agree with you, Years, but I need to finish that.
It's a good game, especially if you play the modded version that makes the open world actually open world. It makes the things that should be open to air. The mods that fix the ludicrous amount of quest chain breaking bugs that's fixed. Like if you play with the updated enemy behavior and NPC behavior mods and the bug fixes and the open world fixes and the fixed magic system that takes away a lot of the bugs and exploits. Original Morrowind with just mods that fix that stuff is one of the best video games I've ever played. It's a wonderful experience.
Modders next do more for fucking modders do more for that guy's fucking games than he does himself.
Yeah, no kidding. When I finally realized today I was over 50,000 and now I don't need the Epstein files anymore.
God damn.
All right, next up. Microsoft is a corporation that turns Microsoft CEO claimed 30% of new code is written by AI into Windows 11 update causes SSD failures.
That's not even the most recent one. Like, will fucking destroy people's ability to connect to the internet.
Yeah, just basic features are failing because they're fucking with everything.
I absolutely hate Windows 11. That's why I run Windows 10. I'm not a big fan of Windows in general, but I have to use Windows for work, and a lot of the games that I like just work better out of the box without having to fuck with them with Windows. So that's why I run Windows on my gaming rig too, just to make it easier. Like I could run Linux and do Wine or something like that, but
don't worry, Wine is dead. It's all about
Wine dead. Okay, that shows how old I am. I haven't used Wine in like 10 years.
Bezite and Polaris.
Okay. I eventually might change my gaming rig over to Linux with Windows emulation because I'm just so sick of Microsoft shit. All right. I like this one. Marco Rubio, when he realizes he's going to have to tutor AOC in Latin American geography. Bede, what were you about to say? Sorry.
So I was just going to say about the previous one, someone in the chat put Micro GT is so fucked. Yes.
Yeah.
Your PC tech companies are staffed by Indians and then function by AI. What a horrific combination.
Dude, going downhill in a flaming dumpster. That's what that is.
Bro, I mean, Germany just banned Acer and Asus from selling in the country.
Who did what now?
See, okay, a judge ruling banned Acer and Asus from selling in Germany because they use Nokia's HEVC codec in their products, probably for like an animated boot like logo or something like that, something silly like that. But then they litigated, and then it led. You know how Germany is.
Yeah. That's weird.
They will respond with a sentence that is completely unrelated to the thing at hand.
I have bought and used a lot of Asus hardware. I like their hardware, but if you ever buy an Asus machine, you have to strip it you have to strip the proprietary software out of it because it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
And go with third party because the third party stuff is slick and smooth and perfect. The Asus hardware is great, and I love my Asus gaming rigs I've bought, but you have to get rid of that armory crate bullshit. It just fucks your machine totally to hell. It's awful. Yeah. It's absolutely like Teabaggin said in Rumble. It's definitely bloatware. It's awful. But anyway, let's move on with some more memes. Because I have a few more. I like this one. Reactor restored. Kingdom of Inland will like this. He likes nuclear power. After years of being shuttered following the Fukushima disaster, Tokyo Electric has finally restarted the number 6 reactor. So good for them.
Yep.
I like this. Dude, I don't speak Epsteinian.
I do.
Hey, here's some reminders for all you racists out there. 67% of black men have never been convicted of a felony, and 58% of blacks are not on welfare. 52% of black women don't have genital herpes. 51% of black men 51% of black men past 23 have not been arrested. 23% of black male children are born to married parents. You racist.
Red flags.
Isn't it just a failure to fucking prosecute?
That's so fucking good.
That's a good one. Okay, here's one. I like this one.
This is a good one. Yeah.
Posts like this are trending in Japan now. Look at this.
Yep.
The Jew feels the samurai.
We had a sword sound when we did this week.
And I like that this meme very accurately puts the Muslim and the Jew in cahoots. That's very apt. That's very good. All right. I told you fuckers. I told you fuckers. When the Unabomber has done more to bring Epstein pedophiles to justice than the U.S. government, we're in a sad spot.
Yeah,
we're in a
sad
sad
spot.
spot.
Said that today. That's pretty great.
Yeah. I saw that.
I hate that
too.
we've
That's why I said it.
Gotten to the point where like we used to be like, no, don't do it. No, what you did was wrong. No. Meanwhile, we're all like, he was Fed posting right before most of us were.
Yep. Like, Uncle Ted has his problems. Like I don't think terrorism is good, and he also had a lot of mental problems and a lot of shit to work out. But I've read most of what he's written, and I find him to be very sympathetic. Like him struggling with sexual and gender problems, him struggling with the issues he went through as a young man, not knowing what being a man was, wondering if he should be a woman, wondering if he should be gay. Like he went through a lot of really similar struggles as a youngster that I went through. And he wrote a lot about what it's like to be a part of a system that hates you and is designed that way on purpose. And it drove him crazy. So he also taught me how not to be. So I respect that about Uncle Ted. Like, I hope that I see him in the afterlife and I get to shake his hand to give him a hug, because I know he was a troubled man and he did wrong, but I learned a lot from him, and I learned from his mistakes and didn't make them myself, because I very easily could have done ugly things like he did, and I didn't. And reading about him and reading that he was a lot like me, it helped me. And so I have a soft spot in my heart for Uncle Ted. And I know that he gets a bad rap from a lot of people. And yeah, he did bad things and he was a troubled dude. But he said a lot of really smart, on-target shit for a lot of years. And I just, I have a soft spot in my heart for him, and I like to bring that up from time to time. Oh, we have a late addition to the memes. We have a late addition.
One final one for Rupert Lowe I had to share.
Yeah, we're give me just a second to pull this back up. I already closed OBS. Give me a second. I have to pipe it in.
For now, you'll just have to take comfort in the fact that the Dow is over 50,000.
Oops, I clicked the wrong thing.
I wish they had a fucking ejection seat where when somebody says something so stupid in Congress that they just eject them out of the fucking roof.
Yeah,
they would have done that to her right there. Anyhow,
she muddled her way through that. Some of it was good, some of it wasn't good.
Yeah,
I like this. This is good. Thank you, Bede. Thank you.
Yep,
indeed.
That's a good one.
Where's my racist goth chud GF?
I know, right? Well, gentlemen, we've come to the end of the stream. So, Mr. Bede of Britannia, I'm very glad you were able to come back again. You're one of my favorite British guests to ever have on. And would you like to shill anything while you're here, sir?
Yes, I have a channel where I cover a variety of topics, mostly historical. The main thing I'm working on at the moment is a series 007 in the chat might be interested in, which is a series on modern Iran. And my co-host for that series is actually the good friend Hunger we had on earlier. So the next stream, I believe, will be at the end of this month, should be the 28th, where we're looking at Iran during World War One. Other than that, I do other streams. For example, I was actually a guest on Apostolic Majesty's channel yesterday. We were discussing Germany's.
I love his voice.
Germany's English alliance delusion leading up to World War II. So if you find that interesting, give that a watch as well. And I also did a stream the other day with Furious Pertinax on my channel discussing the life and career of the Byzantine general Belisarius. So
man, I love him too. You have on all the great people. Man, that's great.
Germans being delusional? More likely than you think.
More at 11. I need to catch up on your content, Bede. I haven't listened to your channel since before Christmas. I need to catch up on your streams, especially with Hunger. I definitely recommend checking out the one that he did with Hunger Merchant and Mike of Pole about what it's like being a millennial.
That was Melon and Mike and Pole.
Oh, that was Melon. Oh, that's right. It was Melon and Mike of Pole. That's right. Yeah, not Hunger.
Well, then we had Jay Ford came as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ford was on one of those. That's right. Yeah, that's right. I listened to those last year. That was good stuff.
Actually, there's one final shill. In the near future, myself and Melon are going to very likely be attempting an X-only series. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, nice. It's kind of inspired by the series of millennial streams I did on my channel. So I'm going to try doing it on X only because it's going to involve copyrighted material. I obviously don't want my channel getting nuked. So that's why we're going to give that a go. And can't say it'll be anything too regular. It's just something we're going to have a go at. So stay tuned.
Well, I can't promise I'll listen to that because I'm really bad at Twitter. I don't even know how to chat when people do the Twitter Spaces. I can't even figure out how to. All I can do is join and listen. I don't know how to interact or do anything else. I can't figure it out.
You kind of have to be given permission to do stuff.
Oh, okay. So it's not like a chat feed that you join and like in the chat feature. Oh, okay.
It's meant to be a bit more controlled than that.
Okay. Well, then that's why. Thank you for telling me. Anyway, let's see. Mr. Fat Dave, I know you make some content. Anything you want to shill while you're here, sir?
Yeah, not tomorrow, but next Tuesday, we're going to be doing, Bleach and I are going to be doing a stream talking about Jacopo Pontormo and Mannerist painting and the how Mannerism is the bridge between the Renaissance painting and the Baroque era. Some boring shit, but should have some cool art in there. So that's on the Autist Circle. That's going to be on my channel and also on Bleach's channel. So next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Awesome possum. Mr. 312, anything you want to shill or promote while you're here?
No, I'm good today. I haven't been on very much, so I haven't really been paying attention to what's been going on. My feed hasn't been very fruitful as of late. So
no worries. All good. We will end with a lovely contribution from Paulie B, a friend of mine. Paulie, if you ever want to be on the stream, you're welcome to be. I met him at an OGC meeting a couple years ago, and we got on real great. He's a cool dude. Thank you so much for your dollars, by the way. Paulie says for $50 thank you, 50 cockin' dollars.
Wow.
Rupert Lowe's statement was a truth nuke ground burst. Cold Warrior nuclear warmongering autism right there. Ground bursts produce the most fallout. They are reserved for destroying ICBM silos, rail yards, or if you want to remove an entire ethnicity by poisoning great river headwaters. Feeling magnanimous cause I may be between jobs in a good way. Oh, that's great. My first intellectual passion was history, and my favorite subject is probably the Cold War. The Russians were our best enemy because they didn't end up in direct brother war bloodletting. Yeah, I guess you could say that. Thank you very much for the dollars, Paulie, and good luck with the job transition. I hope it goes very well for you. And, reach out to me on Twitter or email or just anywhere that you can and stay in touch with me and let me know how things go. Because if your new work schedule interferes with you being live on stream, be sure to not lose touch with me. We can still talk. So that's it. That's the end of the stream. There are no more donations that I see anywhere. I just refreshed everywhere. So we are clear to go. Tomorrow morning, I have a morning walk coming out. It's about 20 minutes long. I ramble about a lot, but it's me reflecting on things and sharing some wisdom and talking about stuff. So if you like hearing me ramble and talk in a beautiful, idyllic Appalachian Shire, check that out. It goes live, or not live, but it becomes available around 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And if I can make it all work to my liking, I'm going to try to stream some video games tomorrow afternoon and see how that goes. Because I need to practice more with OBS and putting the audio through StreamYard to see if that can even be done for using StreamYard to multi-stream gaming. So we'll see. We'll see how that works.
All I'll say is I've tried using StreamYard for that before, and it just is terrible. It's really laggy.
Yeah. I was worried about that. So probably what I'll end up having to do is just use OBS multi-stream and use the IP key and all that stuff and set all that up if I want to do that. But regardless, I do want to eventually do video game coverage and talk about, at least 100 games that I love and think are valuable. So I would like to make that its own channel as well. But I need to start practicing on this channel where I'll actually have viewers before I start doing lots of long form content and stuff. But anyway, thank you to all you lovely viewers who were here. A special thank you to those of you who share your dollars with me. That means so much. Thank you very much. And I'll be back the same time next week with some great guests. And I think next week is Clossington. Let me go check that. Let me pop open my schedule here. Yeah, next week we have Clossington, Raging Mandrill, and Newsfist. Should be a good stream next week. So be sure to tune into that one. And also, before we leave, here in about 30 minutes, American Spirits will be live over on the Old Glory Club channel. So definitely follow me over there. I'll be there, and I would love to see you guys there as well. So I guess that's it. Good night. God bless, and I'll see you next Monday.